Hello and welcome into another edition of Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Along with the great Will Tallant, I'm Colin Loughran, happy to be with you at Loughran Park as the hometown Rams play the Army Black Knights for the second time in just 3 days. Partner, this should be a fun one.
Hey, Colin, it's always a pleasure coming out here and doing a broadcast with you. Hey, let's play two. Why not? Like the great Ernie Banks said. This first one, though, the Fordham Rams against the West Point Army Black Knights. And Colin, freshman Aiden Down taking the bump for the Rams, did not go on that Wake Forest road trip, and then the week after that during practice was one of the best pitchers in live ABs, and since then, Colin, a 1.42 ERA in 3 games started, making his 5th appearance and 4th start of the year. What a day for baseball.
Will, as you mentioned, this will be the first of 2 contests on this fine St. Patrick's Day here in the Bronx. Fordham will also be taking on Fairfield later in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. Without further ado, though, let's meet the starting lineups for these 2 teams. We'll start it off with Army West Point. Batting first and catching, Derek Berg. Hitting second and playing third base, Sam Ruda. Batting third and playing center field, Braden Galinsky. Cleaning up at DH, Colson Titus. Batting fifth in left field, William Parker. At sixth and playing right field, Ethan Ellis. Batting seventh and playing first base, Carter Hewitt. Batting eighth at shortstop, Thomas Schreck. Batting ninth at second base, Paul Andrzejewski. Starting for Army West Point, Justin Lehman. Lehman, a junior from Fort Mills, South Carolina. 6'2", 180 pounds. In 2023, appeared in 26 games while starting in 22. Will, this is an Army team that has been particularly good over the last couple of seasons. Fordham will have their work cut out for them. They've played 2 games against this Army squad this year. They've won both of them. They have a chance to sweep the season series, but it won't be an easy ordeal.
It definitely won't be, Colin, but, got to stick in the present. I know Army, great ball club as of the last 5 years or so, really, in the Patriot League, really holding their own, but I'm looking more towards this season, and the Rams definitely have the Black Knights number, playing them as early as February 23rd. That was the first time these 2 matched up this season, and then yesterday, another win for the Rams, going out trying to sweep that season series against an Army team that definitely packs quite the punch, especially with the first 3 guys in Berg, Rhoda, and Glowinski. 16 home runs between the top 3 for the Army Black Knights today, Colin.
And as you mentioned, Aiden Dowd, the freshman from Connecticut, will take the ball for the Fordham Rams. 6'1", 195 pounds. Still young, still coming into his own. A good opportunity in front of him to help his team and bring this Fordham team a season sweep against the Army Black Knights. What is he going to have to do to be successful today, Will?
Well, it's going to have to be pound the strike zone there, Colin. A 54.8 strike percentage, working on getting those numbers up. But as I said at the top of the broadcast, I think that I would say, absence in that Wake Forest road trip was a nice wake-up call for a very live arm for a young Fordham pitching staff that is endowed, definitely showing a lot of signs now on the field, but definitely in practice that he has that potential to lock it down. He did have a 7-strikeout performance in 2 1/3 innings pitched just a couple weeks ago, 12 strikeouts on the year. So overall, Colin, I think it's pound the strike zone, really utilize that slider that he likes, and a good dosage of a changeup to go along with a upper 80s mile-an-hour fastball.
Fordham coming off of a loss to Fairfield. They lost that one on Saturday by a final score of 10-8. The Rams wearing their maroon and pinstripe jerseys. A little bit of white in there, too. Mostly white with the maroon and pinstripe, Will. A new addition to the uniform rotation this season.
They're wonderful, Con. They have absolutely beautiful uniforms, and that's to be said for all of the sports now with the new Nike partnership that Fordham has signed, and I really, really enjoy the thick piping down the legs on these pinstripe pants. First time that we've seen pinstripes for the Rams as well, and that thick piping, it's very old school-esque, isn't it, Colin? It's very old school.
Question.
A lot of the players also like to wear those tweeners, another very old school wear for pants for baseball players. So you'll see some of the players wearing tweeners with some stirrups, some maroon stirrups by their Nike cleats there. But overall, Colin, I really like what Fordham has.
Mr. Tallant, the fashion aficionado here in the booth. Those jerseys reminiscent of the Philadelphia Phillies.
The maroon,
as well.
the script writing across the chest.
A little bit similar there. Army with a much more basic black jersey and gray pant look, but nonetheless, both teams certainly decked out. As we're getting set here from Loughran Park, we will have the national anthem. And Will, you look at these two teams, they're evenly matched in the sense of you never know who could go off for a big game at a given moment. And sometimes that's all it takes is for one guy to have a great outing, a home run here, a double here. You never know when you can generate a rally, and then pitching could back you up there.
And Fordham has definitely has that spark, Colin, because they have a good dosage of veterans and young guys in their lineup. The pitching particularly is a little bit of a different story, but this Fordham lineup, though, good dosage of experience between sophomores and juniors, and some freshmen that can really pack a punch and hold their own when they get their playing time. So got to see who it's going to be to break out, and one of those players that could really use a breakout day, Colin, Tommy McAndrews, sophomore catcher out of Massachusetts.
He had such a successful freshman campaign, Will. To your point, it would not be surprising at all to see him break out in some way, shape, or form today. As we have the national anthem playing behind us, we will take a quick break.
What's up, everyone? I'm Danny Scott.
I'm Tyler Hu, and we're two of your hosts for WFUV's College Gridiron.
We'll discuss all the best games from around the world of college football.
We'll also talk about the rankings and give our thoughts on the Heisman race.
We'll preview the best games of next week and give our score predictions.
Keenan Troy and other co-hosts will join us as well.
Tune in to College Gridiron wherever you get your podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Loughran Park. Fordham and Army almost set to get underway. Let's see the defensive alignment for Fordham today. It'll be Kean Saylor in left field, Ryan Teasy in center field, Andrew Canellis in right field, Bucciero at third, Gennaro at short, Boza at second, Lutazzi at first base with Tommy McAndrews doing the catching. And Will, I'm a sucker for some nuance here, shipping up to Boston on St. Patrick's Day. That is not lost on me. Not sure if that is a tradition here at Loughran Park, but it certainly fits the vibe of the day on the whole.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Colin. It is, the Irish Catholic heritage here. I see you have your green turtleneck on as well, very festive. And you mentioned the name in that defensive alignment that I do want to mention real quick, Colin, and that's Andrew Canellis. Fordham has done a great job of recruiting transfers over the last couple years, especially with the expansion of the transfer portal in NCAA athletics over the last few years or so. But Andrew Canellis reminds me a lot of Peter DiMaria, the Tufts transfer from last season, first baseman. Only got a year of him, and you'll only get a year of Canellis, who transfers from Vassar, put together a very nice career over in Poughkeepsie, New York, and he comes over to Fordham and instantly becomes one of the most impactful bats in a very young-ish lineup, now kind of finding their footing. If you look at the veterans between Bucciero now, considering he is a veteran, and Kean Saylor as well, two guys holding it down, and of course Ryan Teasy, the senior, at the top of the lineup. But Canellis, he complements those four names very nicely, leading the team in home runs as well. Very nice, powerful punch to have.
Without question, and Derek Berg will step up to the plate as we are ready to get set here in the Bronx. Dowd on the mound. Berg coming set towards the left side of the plate, or it's a righty. Dowd sets. Everybody's ready. First pitch. In for a strike.
And there it is, Colin. Have to force strikes in there if you're Dowd, pumping the strike zone. Nice hard fastball right down on the outside corner.
That one chopped towards second base. That will be picked up by the second baseman, Boza. Thrown onto Lutazzi at first. He is out. Good scoop by Lutazzi.
Nice play there by Boza. Heavy shift to the left side of the infield there, Boza. Great athlete, though. Good hitter as well, but definitely the athlete that you need on the right side. Moving to his right makes that play very seamlessly.
So a pair of pitches and one out for Dowd to start his day. That'll bring up Sam Ruda for Army. Ruda leads the team with 8 doubles this season. Fearsome lefty bat. First pitch. In for a strike.
Not just doubles as well, Colin. He leads the team in home runs with 8 as well. Definitely the power presence and the power prowess in this Army lineup. A tough out. Has the matchup as well, standing from the left side of the batter's box.
Dowd kicks, deals. Outside, ball 1-1. Dowd has a calming presence on the mound. You can see early, not rattled at the least, not nervous for the moment. Just a regular day at the ballpark for the freshman. 1-1 pitch. Cut on foul. 1-2.
And that looked like the cutter there, Colin. Dowd. Rare mix here, has 5 different pitches that he uses. Goes fastball, cutter, slider, changeup, and split finger. May even throw in a curveball in there as well, but definitely something you don't see quite too often, especially in freshman arms. Not only does he have 3 pitches, but he has 4 or 5 that he can use to get an out.
1-2. He struck him out. First K of the day for Aiden Dowd. 2 up, 2 away in the top of the first.
And there it was right there, Colin. One of his best breaking pitches, maybe one of his best off-speed pitches that he has. It's one of those slow-breaking sliders, kind of broke. Had a little bit of a wrinkle just at the end there. It was enough to get Ruda off balance there, and a nice strikeout for the freshman.
Braden Galinsky up now for West Point. He'll show bunt, but think better of it. Ball 1. That pitch was high.
Galinsky, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, 18 games played and 18 games started on the season for the center fielder. For the Black Knights, 6 of 9 in stolen bases and attempts as well.
1-0. Outside, ball 2, 2-0. It's Galinsky. An outfielder, a senior from Greenville, South Carolina. Two-0 pitch from Dowd. That's upstairs, 3-0.
Dowd a little erratic here now, Colin. 3 outside of the zone. That slider there was not very generous on the call. In a hole now, 3-0. Has to bear down, get himself a strike here. A little get-me-over strike.
3-0, and he'll take his walk. 4 straight balls, and Galinsky's on base. As that'll now bring up the designated hitter, Colson Titus. Titus, a junior from Michigan, 2023 was Patriot League All-Tournament Team selected, appeared in 35 games over the season, started in 28. Hit .283 on the season with 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. He'll have a runner at first that he'll be looking to bring home. First pitch from Dowd, downstairs, ball 1, 1-0.
Titus, still trying to get going now, Colin. No home runs and only 8 RBIs, but batting .328 in 17 games played, 58 at-bats, 19 hits. Still, nice little depth, a little contact bat here in the 4-hole for the Black Knights.
1-0 pitch. Upstairs, 2-0, and it's now 6 straight balls from Aiden Dowd, the freshman, after retiring the first 2 batters.
Yeah, home plate, Tim Carey not really being too favorable on the upper half of the strike zone so far today. So Dowd going to have to set his sights down in the zone moving forward.
Throws over to first. Nothing going. This is something we've seen with the Fordham pitchers over the last couple of years or so. They are not afraid to throw over towards first or even back to second at times.
And you shouldn't be. You got to keep your base runners on your toes, but also for Dowd, too, it's a good reset. He needed to throw over there. He's thrown 7 straight balls, and there you go. There's a strike right there.
2-0 pitch slashed foul. And he gets a strike on the board, as you mentioned. So important to pound the strike zone, not to show any fear to the hitter at the plate.
Well, especially if you're a freshman, though, as well, Colin. You got to make your presence known on the mound. You have to show everyone here that you do belong, and Dowd doing a great job of that so far. And good example. Let's see how he works out of this little jam here in the first.
Throws over to first again. That one a little bit closer, but runner got back in safely. Fordham defense shifted towards the left side. Bosa playing just above second base. 2-1 count. That's a strike. 2-2.
Tight little cutter right there, Colin. Just moved a little bit right on the outer half, I should say. Started on the inner half, right by the belt for Titus, and then finishing right at the end there. Nice little cutter. 2-2 count now for Dowd.
Over towards first again, and runner back in safely. So nothing going at first base.
Well, you definitely want to keep Galinsky honest over there. His lead increasing a little bit. Good base stealer, 6 of 9 so far this year. Another throw over to first base.
Galinsky getting a workout in over at first base bag already.
Got to keep those base stealers honest, though, Colin.
The 2-2 from Dowd. Galinsky's going. That one's fouled off. As Galinsky had designs on nabbing second base there. Count still at 2-2.
Chris Trax, head coach of Army West Point. I like the idea, though, right there, Colin. Little hit and run with 2 strikes. Say Titus gets that down. That could have gone right through the hole there on the right side, caused some havoc with 2 outs.
2-2, 2 outs. Swung on and missed. It'll be in the dirt. McAndrews will tag out Titus. That'll count as a strikeout. 0-0 after 1 here, or after the top of the first here at Loughran Park. Fordham will come to bat next. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
What's up, everyone? I'm Julia Moss, one of the hosts of WFUV's women's sports podcast, All In. Join us each week as we break down everything from the WNBA, women's collegiate sports, the NWSL, and so much more. We're also joined by recurring hosts including Maddie Bamonte, Taylor Masetta, Sam Bohr, and Annabelle Watson. All In is a production of WFUV Sports.
Colin, Loughran and Will Tallant here at Loughran Park, a scoreless ball game between the Fordham Rams and the Army Black Knights. We're going to the bottom of the first. Justin Lehman warming up. He'll take the start for Army. But let's meet the Fordham Rams starting lineup. Batting first and playing center field, Ryan Teasy. Batting second at third base, Daniel Bucciero. Batting third in right field, Andrew Canellis. Cleaning up and catching, Tommy McAndrews. Batting fifth and playing left field, Kian Saylor. Hitting sixth at DH, TJ Wachter. Batting seventh and playing first base, Steve Lutazzi. Batting eighth at second base, Nico Boza. Batting ninth at shortstop, Chris Gennaro. And, of course, taking the ball for Army, as mentioned, Justin Lehman will, in 2023, appeared in 26 games. In 22, made 5 pitching appearances as a freshman, turning in an ERA of 0 through 4 2/3 innings.
And
look to keep the Rams at bay.
Colin also listed as a catcher on here as well, making his 3rd appearance of 2024. He's 1-0 on the season in 6 1/3 innings pitched. 2 hits, 1 run, not earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts for the righty Lehman.
First pitch from Lehman inside towards Teasy, 1-0.
Ryan Teasy, excellent leadoff hitter for the Rams in his 2nd year in that role, 4th year with the program, though. In his last game against Fairfield yesterday, went 1 for 3. He's an extra base hit machine, had a double in that game, a walk, and, of course, a stolen base, 4 of 8 on attempts this season.
And that'll be 3 straight balls as Teasy took another one inside, that one hitting the dirt, so a 3-0 count for Ryan Teasy, the .328 hitter on the year for Fordham.
Don't want him to reach first base. Colin, 2nd on the team in hits last year with 59, and he was 6th in the Atlantic 10 in stolen bases with 21 as he takes a strike right there. But last time out against Army, Colin, 4 for 5 with 2 runs scored, so got to get hot here, and it starts with Teasy.
3-1, chops it back towards the netting foul, full count.
Aggressive swing, keeps those hands a little low, right by the belt. Not very much of a traditional stance, but definitely gets his hands inside and to the baseball quickly. And his game lighting the field up on the base paths.
3-2, Teasy chops one back towards up the middle. That'll be fielded by Andrzejewski on a diving play, but Teasy will reach first with a base hit.
A nice play there by Andrzejewski, diving to his right to make the stop. Probably would have been a single regardless, but you never know with Teasy. It was an automatic hit out of the box for him, though, with his speed. And that'll bring up the sophomore Daniel Bucciero now, though, Colin. So the 1-2 for Fordham looking really nice to start, especially with Bucciero being a sophomore now.
First pitch to Bucciero. Chopped right back towards the mound. Lehman throws back towards second. Second baseman flips to first, and that's a double play. So 2 away very quickly for Fordham after the Teasy leadoff single.
Well, Bucciero likes to swing the bat, Colin, that is for sure. Yesterday out, he was 2 for 5 against Fairfield, and he has 6 multi-hit games already, but definitely he likes to swing that bat, and right there, not the results you want. Want to be a little bit more patient, 1 pitch, and just like that, there are 2 away.
0-0 game, bottom of the first inning. Andrew Canellis steps in, takes ball 1, 1-0. Canellis, as you mentioned, a graduate student, Will, from North Carolina, has a team best 3 home runs entering today's contests. 13
RBIs and getting on base at a good clip as well at 400. Good slash line, 288, 400, and 462. He's a grad from Vassar, as we were saying, 99 career collegiate games before getting to Fordham.
2-0, skied foul.
And at Vassar, put together an excellent career, batting .354 with 17 home runs and 97 RBIs. He was first team All-Liberty League in 2022 and 23. So great addition for this Fordham lineup.
Another foul ball as Canellis got a good cut on that one. As you figure if Fordham's going to make any noise in the A-10, Canellis is going to have to be a pivotal part of that offensive attack, Will. This is a team that has benefited from graduate play. That one in the dirt for a ball will go to a full count.
Well, like I was saying, too, at the top of the broadcast about Canellis, Colin, is that he reminds me a lot of Peter DiMaria from last season, the transfer from Tufts, first baseman. Excellent offensive presence for the Rams. Canellis has a lot of that, and he's a little bit more athletic. So,
full
good
count,
ball player.
Grounded toward short, picked up by Schreck, thrown onto Hewitt at first, and Army is through 1 inning. Scoreless here at Loughran Park. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Will Grant.
And I'm Chris Persianen.
And we're two of the hosts for WFUV's very own basketball podcast, Pick and Pod.
Tune in weekly for updates and our takes on the latest around the NBA, as well as exclusive insight from our very own Knicks and Nets beat reporters.
We'll have you covered on everything from all of the NBA's latest drama we know and love,
to debating all year long which team will get to lift that golden Larry O'Brien in June.
So don't miss a beat from the hardwood on WFUV's Pick and Pod.
Hello and welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Top of the second about to begin. We've got a scoreless ball game in the Bronx. Along with Will Tallant, I'm Colin, Loughran, happy to be with you. Will, it cannot be overstated just how gorgeous it is outside today. It was a little worrisome this morning, had some rain, but it cleared up quite nicely.
Yeah, a little bit of rain, but that never hurt anybody. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and then, of course, sometimes it rains, and sometimes you may do all of that in one, like today. You got a double header and a little bit of rain. How about that? A trifecta. But it is truly beautiful as I, ramble on about the weather here, Colin. But wind blowing from left to right, definitely going to be a factor, albeit no rain. This wind, though, walking here was a little bit of a story, and we'll see how that progresses as we are here for the two-bagger today.
Aiden Dowd out for his second inning of work. William Parker will step up to the plate for Army. First pitch from Dowd. Low, ball one. It's William Parker, an outfielder from Massachusetts. In 2023, appeared in 16 games, started in 11. Finished the season with a .270 batting average and was 1 for 5 against Fordham on Friday. Second pitch in for a strike, 1-1.
Great spot there from Dowd, Colin. Got to get that breaking ball over for a strike there. Parker wanted no business with that, and as a hitter in that situation, you don't really want any business with that. You want your pitch on 1-0, but a great job to get a strike over for Dowd.
1-1, popped up foul. 1-2.
Really like that right there, Colin. He changes sights, goes right back with the same pitch. Cutter and the slider looking a little bit similar today, but that slider a little bit more bite on it here in the second inning. Parker let it get a little deeper, fouled it off, and now Dowd ahead in the count, 1-2.
1-2 from Dowd. He kicks, he deals. He struck him out. That's Dowd's third K of the ball game.
Well, it's all about efficiency, Colin. We were saying it right from the beginning. If Dowd can get these strikes, change the eye level a little bit, he will be just fine. And as you said, 3 strikeouts for the freshman thus far in just an inning and a third in this young ball game. Dowd looking really sharp is the freshman so far, Colin.
Ethan Ellis, his next opponent. First pitch in for a strike. Dowd not the kind of pitcher that's going to overpower you. Pitches with more finesse than that true overbearing fastball will, but at this level, sometimes the finesse is all you need as long as you're hitting your spots.
Yeah, he's not an overly tall guy either, but he kind of comes at you 3/4 of the way with that arm slot, and that fastball, it does come very downhill. He's very long, and his lankiness shows like it's coming downhill on you big time as he gets a swing on there right there. 0-2 now, Colin.
0-2. Swung on and missed. 4 strikeouts now for Aiden Dowd, the freshman, enjoying his morning thus far. Prior to that at-bat, Ellis was rocking a .280 average. These hitters have been hitting well for Army over the course of the season. Carter Hewitt will stand in the box now. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1, 1-0.
Well, back to Ellis, though, Colin, it was the breaking ball once again. Great slider, went back-to-back like he did against William Parker. And the freshman, 3 strikeouts in a row dating back to Titus in the first inning here. Looking to strike out the side.
And there's another strike for Aiden Dowd. 1-1 count now. As Fordham's defense playing straight up, no severe shift at the moment. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. We'll go to 1-2.
And instead of going breaking ball there like he did in the last two hitters, Colin, on the second and third pitches, he changes the eye level but stays up top this time with the fastball once again. Ahead 1-2, looking to strike out the side.
Scoreless game, top of the second, 2 outs. Aiden Dowd, 1-2 on Carter Hewitt. Almost froze him. That'll be called a ball. We'll go to 2-2.
Tim Carey tightening the inner and outer parts of the plate. We saw it with 2 outs last inning. He's not going to give any strikes away. It was a great pitch there by Dowd. Just going to need to be a little finer here. But deuces wide on the scoreboard now.
2-2. Just missed the outside part of the zone. We'll go to a full count. As Dowd getting squeezed a little bit towards that outside part of the zone, Will. Hewitt at a full count. He's ready. Dowd fires. Inside, he froze him. That's 4 straight strikeouts for Aiden Dowd. Still a scoreless ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the second here in the Bronx. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
Ryan Gregory here, joined with Michael Calamari and Andrew Galata, 3 of your hosts for Nosebleeds, WFUV's only baseball podcast.
Tune in every week as we recap the latest from the Bronx and Queens, as well as news from around the MLB.
You can listen to Nosebleeds on Apple, Spotify, WFUVsports.org, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Take a trip around the bases all season long with the Nosebleeds podcast on WFUV Sports.
It's Fordham Rams Baseball from Loughran Park. Along with Will Tallant, I'm Colin Loughran. We are headed to the bottom of the second of a scoreless ball game between those Fordham Rams and the Army Black Knights. Will, been a bit of a pitcher's duel so far. Both pitchers have shown their stuff early in this ball game.
Yeah, I got to say, Colin, I'm very impressed with what I've seen out of the freshman Aiden Dowd so far. Strikes out the side there in the second, but 4 straight strikeouts to start his day, and to cap it all off, a total of 5 strikeouts for the freshman. He's changing up eye levels, and he's utilizing his lively fastball. A great start so far for Dowd.
Tommy McAndrews up for the Rams, takes a called strike 1, 0-1.
And here's a guy that really needs to get going, Colin. 189 batting average on the season in 14 games started. 10 hits, 5 RBIs, still searching for that first home run. He was part of a dynamic duo with Daniel Bucciero last season, as those two were both selected to the A-10 All-Rookie team, but McAndrews trying to get something going for the first time this season.
Second pitch was inside, knee level for a strike. Third pitch, a bit upstairs for a ball, 1-2. As McAndrews, such an important part of what the Rams are trying to do here in the Bronx. Had such a sensational freshman campaign, looking to follow it up this year as he chops one away foul.
Yep. Batted .278 with 8 home runs, 12 doubles, and 28 runs in that freshman campaign. He was tied for the team lead with 41 RBIs, now down 1-2, but still a great 4-hole hitter to have if you're Coach Kevin Layton.
1-2 from Lehman, and McAndrews skies that one towards right field. It will go foul and into the bushes out towards Southern Boulevard area.
We're going to do it again at 2-2. Out there by Southern Boulevard, nice day to drive around, maybe grab a bite to eat after the game here on Arthur Ave. Colin, beautiful day for a St. Patrick's Day.
1-2 pitch way upstairs. We'll go to 2-2, and Will, don't be giving me any ideas this gorgeous day. I'll find any way to procrastinate what it is I'm supposed to be doing work-wise. 2-2, off speed, 3-2. As Lehman benefited from a double play in the first inning after TZ reached on a single. An easy-going first inning of work. Second inning, McAndrews at a full count. The pitch swung on and missed. Lehman gets him to go down on strikes.
Lehman goes with the high cheddar right there, gets McAndrews swinging, who loves to go up in the zone with those pitches. He gets around on them quite oftenly, just not this time around, and that's going to bring up Kean Saylor now, Colin, and probably the Rams' hottest hitter in the last 4 games.
Kean Saylor, as he takes a strike, swings and misses. Started over 21 this year. He's 11 for his last 18. That's a 6.11 average, folks. The Maryland native hot at the plate. 0-1. Foul back towards the netting, 0-2.
Another thing to note about Kean Saylor that I don't think gets talked about his game enough, he's only struck out 7 times this year. You know, obviously, with the at-bats that he gets, to 4 walks as well, something that you really want to look for in college hitters as well, because it's not that common. His discipline at the plate, but not only his discipline, his ability to put the ball in play as well. Saylor really coming into his own here in year number 3.
Saylor at an 0-2 count. The pitch from Lehman. He rips this one towards center field. Galinsky coming in. It will drop in front of him. Saylor's on with a single. As Galinsky never seemed to have too good of a read on that one, and Saylor rips a single with 1 away in the bottom of the 2nd.
And it kind of reminds me of the Babe Ruth video from the 20s. You a swing hitter? And that was a very swing hitter-esque swing there, Colin. Saylor needed to protect, kind of just threw his barrel out there at the 0-2 offering and gets yet another base hit, stays the hottest hitter in this Fordham Rams lineup.
Here's T.J. Wachter. He'll take one upstairs for ball 1. T.J. Wachter serving as the DH for Fordham today.
Wachter 1 for 3, 3 RBIs and a double and a walk
1-0.
Against Fairfield yesterday.
Ripped towards center field. It'll be right at Galinsky, who will make the catch and record the out. 2-away now in the bottom of the 2nd. Scoreless ball game between Fordham and West Point. Steve Lutazzi will stand in now for the Fordham Rams.
And the wind really starting to pick up, as we saw on that Wachter line out, as that's a guy that can really swing the baseball bat, and that ball was taking center fielder more to his left than you would normally see center fielder being Braden Galinsky for the Black Knights. But now Stephen Lutazzi stepped in, another transfer, this one out of UMass.
Lutazzi fouls one off. Count will go to 1-1. Steve Lutazzi, a graduate student, played 136 career games at UMass, had a .274 career batting average there. 1-1, swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch, 1-2.
Lutazzi was off to a fast start, especially against the number 1 team in the country. Wake Forest hit a home run in that first game, and then again he went yard against Illinois, another great school, baseball school that is. 5 RBIs in his first 3 games, kind of coming back down to earth a little bit as of late. 182, 297, 382 his splits, but another great addition out of the transfer portal for Coach Kevin Layton.
1-2 pitch just outside for a ball, 2-2. There's a little bit of a crowd turnout here at Loughran Park. Some wanted the strike called there.
A relatively local matchup as well, especially with Fairfield coming down for the PM matchup at West Point, not too far up the Hudson River.
2-2, cut on a miss. That's a strikeout. Lehman's 2nd of the day. Scoreless ball game. We're going to head towards the top of the 3rd here from Loughran Park. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Lou Orlando.
And I'm Colin Loughran.
And we're 2 of your main hosts for WFUV Sports' NHL podcast, 5 on 3.
We'll keep you updated on the Rangers, Islanders, Devils, and of course, the Stanley Cup Final.
Home ice for all things NHL, 5 on 3.
Welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. We've got a scoreless ball game as we head towards the top of the 3rd inning. Aiden Dowd has been dealing for Fordham 5 strikeouts so far, 1 walk as well. But Will, freshman's looked pretty good.
And, he's really mixed up his cutter and slider really well. The differentiation is definitely evident in which one of those pitches is which. When you see it, we could tell from up here, but that slider has a lot of bite to it, and it's really working out for Dowd today. Doing a great job of changing the eye level. I said it at the top of the broadcast, he needed to find a way to pound the strike zone, and he's doing that by changing the eye level. He'll go back-to-back slider, he'll go low and up with those sliders, and then maybe he'll go slider fastball, but that's really been the combination, fastball, cutter, slider. Good little changeup as well, but Dowd really turning a lot of heads here in his fourth start, Colin.
8-9-1 due up for Army this half inning. Thomas Schreck will lead off the inning for West Point. Schreck, an infielder, a sophomore from Needville, Texas. Only appeared in 11 games last year. Only started 6 of those games. First pitch from Dowd. Chopped towards third base. Bucciero will give it a look, but let it roll foul.
Bucciero over at third now, his more natural position. Last year made the all-rookie team for the A-10, as I said, last inning, but as a left fielder had one of the most blistering starts that I would say probably anyone has had to start their Fordham collegiate career. Batted over 500 in the beginning of last season, aiding to why he was on that all A-10 rookie team, but now in his more natural position where he was recruited over at the hot corner.
0-1 pitch, that'll be low for a ball, 1-1, and in a sport where succeeding 1/3 of the time is considered doing well, hitting 500, otherworldly.
Otherworldly, and in your first go-around, at whatever level it is, batting 500 anywhere is an incredibly challenging thing to accomplish. And Bucciero, man, last year he was kind of setting the world on fire, especially in A-10 play. This year, a little bit of a slower start, but quite the bat to have in the lineup.
1-2 to Schreck. That's going to be ripped towards center field. TZ seems to be centering under it, and he will indeed make the catch and record the first out of the inning.
Ryan Teasy makes it very easy out there in center field. The wind definitely picked up, I would say probably in that break, Colin. The American flag out in right field, doing a whole lot of other different things it wasn't doing in the first inning. So as we were saying, it's a beautiful day, but the wind definitely going to, as it already is, be a factor.
Paul Andrzejewski, the batter, he'll rip one towards center field. Teasy being put to work. That'll drop in front of him, though, and Andrzejewski's on with a single. As he got a good piece on that pitch from Dowd. Not many batters have gotten that type of contact against him so far today.
Yeah, and that was just a little lazy fly ball. Teasy playing a little deep in center field, though. Got to respect it. So, not a lot of hard contact whatsoever, Colin. Still 5 strikeouts for Dowd.
Top of the order, Derek Berg up, he'll sky one towards right center field. It'll get down for a base hit. Runners will go to first and second. As Andrzejewski thought about going to third, thought better of it, retreated. So 2 runners on now for the Black Knights.
His second, I would say, jam for Dowd. First one came back in the first inning, but 2 runners on now for the Black Knights via the base hit as well. Dowd going to have to try to get a ground ball, induce a double play, more of a fly ball strikeout pitcher, though. So we'll see how the freshman battles. He's putting together a nice line so far. Good little test for the freshman.
Sam Ruda, the batter, he'll take a ball to start the AB 1-0 as we've reached the top of this Army lineup.
Sam Ruda, a strikeout victim. Dowd's first strikeout of the morning/afternoon back in the first inning. An opportunity to get the first run on the board in this ballgame.
0-0, 1 away in the top of the third. Berg on first, Andrzejewski on second. Ruda, the batter, against Aiden Dowd. 1-1 from Dowd. He kicks, he deals. Upstairs, 2-1. Sam Ruda 0 for 1 today with a strikeout.
Ruda, an All-Patriot League selection at the hot corner in 2022. That was for first team last year, second team selection for the Patriot League as Dowd grooves in a strike there on the outside corner.
Certainly clip that outside part of the zone. As you have to do that against Ruda, you don't want to give him anything over the heart of the plate. You have to pick your spots wisely. A dangerous hitter hitting .343 on the season. And he swings and misses. 2-2, or 3-2, excuse me.
It's a big count here against a big bat. If you're Dowd, you want this strikeout all day long.
3-2 from Dowd. Chop towards left field. It'll be Bucciero tracking towards the outfield. A nice play from the third baseman. 2 away in the inning now.
Great job battling the sun there. It was a little teardrop shot over into foul territory down the third base line. Bucciero battling the sun with the Oakleys on there, using the glove to block the sun and make the catch. A nice soft contact out, but still a big test here. Colin with Galinsky stepping up a walk in his first plate appearance this afternoon.
First pitch to Galinsky, skied back towards the box, 0-1. 0-0, top of the third. Andrzejewski leading off of second. Berg leading off of first. Dowd sets. He kicks, he delivers. That'll be chopped towards first base, grabbed by Lutazzi. He'll walk it over the bag, and Dowd escapes the mini jam. 0-0. Let's head towards the bottom of the third, but not before we send it back to our Rose Hill studios with a one-on-one scoreboard report from the great Julia Moss.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Got a lot of games around the A10 baseball scene on this fine Wednesday afternoon. Looking at all the noon start times, we have the 10-8 George Washington Revolutionaries versus Presbyterian and the 8-10 Richmond Spiders against Cornell. I'll have your 1 o'clock games in the next update, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. Some NFL news, the Pittsburgh Steelers QB room just got a little bit more packed. Bears have solidified their choice in taking USC quarterback Caleb Williams in the draft as they traded away Justin Fields to the Steelers yesterday. The Steelers got in on the QB trade trends themselves, sending their starter of the past, Kenny Pickett, to the Philadelphia Eagles. Moving over to NCAA basketball, today is a big day. It is Selection Sunday. If you're looking for the men's show, that'll start at 6 p.m. Women's will be right after at 8. Finishing up with some NBA news, the Nets travel to San Antonio to face off against the San Antonio Spurs. Tip-off for that will be at 7 p.m. The Knicks earned their day off today, defeating the Sacramento Kings yesterday 98-91. They'll be back in action tomorrow against the Warriors at 10 o'clock p.m. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Julia Moss.
Thank you, Julia, and welcome back to Fordham Rams baseball. We're heading towards the bottom of the third inning in a scoreless ball game between those Fordham Rams and the Army Black Knights. Both pitchers have been pitching pretty well. Justin Lehman out for another inning of work. Aiden Dowd escaped what I called a mini jam in the top of the third, and Nico Boza will lead off the inning on offense for Fordham.
And Boza having a very, very nice season here in 2024, Colin, as he starting his 10th game of the season, 10 hits in 9 games started, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and over a 1,000 OPS, slashing 345, 457, and 586. Colin, senior out of Cypress Bay, down in Weston, Florida, having a really, really strong senior campaign.
Boza works his way to a 1-1 count, and Will, a campaign that was certainly welcomed from him, hit .221 last season in 22 starts and 30 appearances overall. And that's going to be a strike from Lehman, 1-2 now.
Hey, he's a very athletic frame as well. Sneaky bat with some plus speed as well. 6-game hitting streak, including a 4-hit game performance against William & Mary.
As Boza swings and misses, trickles towards the dirt. Catcher Berg picks it up and slings it over to Hewitt for the out, the strikeout. So 1 away in the bottom of the third now.
And that'll bring up Chris Gennaro now. Shortstop, another senior. Great middle infielder duo batting 8 and 9, and Bosa and Gennaro. And Gennaro locking things down over at shortstop. 17 games played and 16 games started.
Gennaro cracks one towards left field. Back it goes, and it is gone. Chris Gennaro gets the Rams on the board with a solo home run in the bottom of the third. Fordham leads 1-0.
And Colin, what a way to get on the board. The loudest way that you can possibly do it. Chris Gennaro, what a swing. His first home run of the campaign, his 5th RBI, his 12th hit. And he really needed that. Colin batting under the Mendoza line, and he comes through in a big way. First pitch swinging for Gennaro, and Colin, it's a 1-0 Rams lead.
The senior from Greenwich, Connecticut gets the Rams on the scoreboard first. Teasy up now, showing bunt, but takes a strike. As Lehman will have to reset after giving up the solo shot here in the bottom of the third.
You know, looking back on that, Colin Gennaro, very much an on-base contact kind of guy. 41 career strikeouts to 30 career walks, so definitely a 9-hole leadoff kind of guy. So it's nice to see a little bit of power coming out of the bottom half of that Fordham order.
2-0 pitch, swung on and missed, or 1-2, excuse me, having a little bit of scoreboard trouble here on the good old laptop, Will, but nonetheless, keeping track as best we can. Pitch to Teasy, skied towards center field. That will be Ellis under to make the out. So 2 away now in this bottom of the third. But Gennaro gets Fordham on the board with a solo shot to left field.
Yeah, it was nice. Nice shot from Gennaro. Got his arms up, barrel out over the plate there. Colin took the outside pitch to left center field, but now a little 2-out magic with Bucciero stepping in. Did that hit him? I don't think so.
Close, but no cigar. 1-0 count.
Bucciero, double play in his last time out. Colin, definitely a heavy swing approach hitter, but when he puts the barrel on the baseball, good things tend to happen.
Without question, Bucciero hitting .265 this season. No home runs for him. 8 RBIs, though. As he'll foul that one back, we'll go to 2-1. Other than the home run, Lehman has been solid today for this Black Knights team. He's allowed 3 hits. And Bucciero rips one towards left field. That's a single. And he'll reach first.
And there it is, Colin. Don't let Bucciero get ahead. You let him get ahead. A 2-1 count there. Lehman couldn't really do a whole lot there. Bucciero is very, very consistent when attacking pitches in the strike zone, and that was pretty much what we saw right there. A ferocious swing. I don't know the exact numbers, but that exit velo had to be over 95 miles an hour. He smoked that into left field, and it gives Andrew Kanellis another crack with 2 outs.
And Kanellis lines one towards center field, but Galinsky will come on and make the play to end the inning, but not before Chris Gennaro gets Fordham on the scoreboard with a solo shot. The Rams lead 1-0. Let's head towards the top of the 4th inning. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, Brian Raybacks here, one of your New York Yankees beat reporters for WFUV Sports. Along with Lou Orlando and Will Tallant, we've got you covered for live game coverage, post-game analysis, season updates, and just about everything you need to know about the Bronx Bombers. You can follow me on Twitter at Brian Raybacks and subscribe to our YouTube channel for special Yankee feature reports all season long.
Welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Along with Will Tallant, I'm Colin Loughran. Fordham leading 1-0 as we head towards the top of the 4th inning. Chris Gennaro with the solo shot gave the Rams that 1-0 lead. And Aiden Dowd has been pitching pretty well for those Rams. 5 strikeouts thus far in 3 innings of work. He'll look to keep on plugging away, Will.
And Dowd really in his first sense of trouble last time out, and he worked around it, marvelously. Colin, back-to-back base hits from Andrzejewski and Berg from 9 and 1 to the top of the lineup there, and he bared down, got the pop-up of Aruta, which was a huge at-bat, one of the best hitters in the Patriot League, and obviously on Army. Then he gets the unassisted put-out from Steve Latuzzi off the bat of Braden Galinsky to end the third, heading into his 4th inning of work now. And as you said, Colin, 6 strikeouts on the day for the freshman.
Colson Titus leading off for Army takes ball 1 to start this top of the 4th. And Titus 0 for 1 so far with a strikeout. Dowd has punched out 5 batters thus far as Titus fouls that one back towards the netting. 1-1.
I said 6 before. I meant to say 5. You're absolutely right, Colin. And Titus, strikeout victim, and his 2nd strikeout victim of the game for Dowd. And once again, a righty batter here we're noticing with the Fordham Rams. Coach Kevin Layton playing an extreme shift onto the left side of the field there with Nico Bosa, the second baseman, playing pretty much up the middle, and Steve Latuzzi kind of left in no man's land on the right side. So we've been seeing that a lot. It's a reoccurring pattern for most righties in this Army lineup.
Titus came up with a big cut, came up with nothing. 1-2 pitch, though. Way outside. Good on McAndrews to stay with it. We'll go to 2-2. As Colson Titus, a hitter that this Army team relies on to drive in runs, but it's been a bit of a stretch for him so far this year. Only 8 RBIs to his name. You got to figure that'll grow as Dowd flings in a ball.
It's a tough miss right there, too, Colin. It looked like it was a little low there. It's going to run the count full now, and definitely don't want a leadoff base runner, something that Dowd has not had to deal with yet in this game, especially after getting a run and a lead.
3-2 pitch upstairs, and Titus works a walk to start the top of the 4th. That'll make way for William Parker. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well so far today, as that's the 2nd walk of the game for Dowd. Something worth keeping your eyes on at home. Although he does have the 5 strikeouts, those 2 walks, it's a number you don't want to see balloon if you're a Fordham fan.
Yeah, it looks like there's some activity in the Fordham bullpen now.
Grounded to short, flipped to second, thrown on to first, and the Rams have a double play. So Dowd allows the walk, gets 2 outs back quickly. 2-away now in the top of the 4th.
Excellent work there. It's textbook. The tailor-made 6-4-3 double play to Gennaro, to Boza, over to Latuzzi. And just like that, a quick 2 outs for Aiden Dowd. I'm very, very genuinely impressed with how the freshman has looked today, Colin. That was just textbook. You put the leadoff guy on base. You got to do what you got to do to get an out. And how about 2? Find a way to get a ground ball. And as we've been saying, not really much of a ground ball pitcher. Found a way to get it done there. And he's quickly now getting through 4 innings of work.
Dowd lays in another strike to Ethan Ellis, the batter now. Ellis 0 for 1 with a K to his name. Second pitch inside, 1-1. Aiden Dowd's ERA now through 10 innings of work on the season down to 0.90.
Oh, baby. You got to love that.
Especially on a day where you're playing 2 ball games and you want to conserve as much of your bullpen as you humanly can.
Save that pitching. Absolutely.
1-1 pitch. Chopped towards shortstop. That will be picked up by Gennaro. Thrown onto Latazzi at first to end the inning. Fordham leading 1-0. We're going towards the bottom of the 4th here at Loughran Park. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jack Warner, one of your New York Rangers beat reporters for the 2023-2024 NHL season. I'll have you covered all season long as New York looks to bring a Stanley Cup back to the Big Apple in Peter Laviolette's first season as head coach. Follow me on Twitter at Jack_Warner23 for live game updates, post-game media availability, and all things Blue Shirts.
Colin Loughran along with Will Tallant here at Loughran Park. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Fordham leading Army by a score of 1-0 as we head towards the bottom of the fourth. Will, we've been treated to two really good performances from these pitchers. Lehman out for another inning of work from Army, and outside of allowing Cristianero to rake a solo shot, he's been decently good for them.
He absolutely has. The catcher, right-handed pitcher, Justin Lehman, and not a ton of work to begin the season, Colin, and today looking like he should have some more innings under his belt, but Aiden Dowd going step for step, pitch for pitch, I should really say, with the junior. And it'll bring up Tommy McAndrews once again, a four-hole hitter, and the backstop for the Fordham Rams.
First pitch off speed to McAndrews. He took a big swing and entirely missed 0-1 as McAndrews trying to find himself offensively. Last season tied the team for the lead in RBIs. Second pitch, an even uglier swing, 0-2.
McAndrews, he started off the season pretty hot as well, especially going in against the number one ranked team, Wake Forest. 2 hits in that contest, and then immediately in his next game against Akron, 2 hits, 2 multi-hit games to start his campaign, but really hasn't found that same footing as of late in about the last 15 games or so.
0-2 pitch chopped away foul, and McAndrews certainly a stout defensive catcher, so while he tries to find the offense, Coach Layton and company knows he'll give what he has to offer behind the plate as he's hit by the pitch there. And Fordham will have a base runner to start the bottom of the fourth.
And you bring up McAndrews' defense there, Colin, and that's definitely something that keeps him in the lineup, but it also makes it very challenging because between Diego Prieto and Carson Chavez, freshman catcher, 3 very good defensive catchers on this Fordham roster. So, we may see some more at-bats coming towards Prieto and could challenge McAndrews a little bit, but all 3 excellent defensive catchers, absolutely.
Kean Saylor looks at strike 1 to start his AB. He's 1 for 1 so far. McAndrews leads off first. Fordham leading 1-0 in the bottom of the first. No outs, as that's a ball.
Saylor, base hit in his last time up. Kind of a little nubber out into shallow center field, but keeps his hitting ways alive. 12 of 19 in his last 19 at-bats, and will make that.
Ripped towards the right side of the field. It will be fielded cleanly and thrown on to first for the out.
Fielder's choice then. I was about to jump the gun, give him another hit there. I was getting a little too excited there, Colin.
Nothing wrong with that on such a gorgeous day and a great pitcher's duel so far, even though that could change in the blink of an eye.
Oh, absolutely.
As we know, Will. As TJ Wachter now, the hitter for Fordham, with McAndrews leading off second as a runner in scoring position. Lehman kicks, fires, off-speed pitch in for a strike.
And that might be the approach here against Wachter, Colin. Got to go off-speed. Definitely has some trouble with some change-ups because has that big frame, big stature. With the wind blowing the way that it is, if he gets a hold of one and finds that gap, could be something special.
Wachter lines one towards second. It's caught by Andrzejewski, thrown onto Schreck, who's covering it short. McAndrews couldn't get back in time, and that's going to end the inning. A double play for Army to end the bottom of the fourth, but Fordham still leads 1-0. Let's go to the top of the fifth. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
Hey guys, it's Nick Palmer, your New York Islanders beat reporter for the 2023-2024 NHL season. Tune into my Twitter at NickPalmer55 for live game updates in addition to pre- and post-game analysis. To get updates on all things Isles, follow me as the Blue and Orange try to bring another Stanley Cup championship to Long Island.
Hello and welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. The Rams leading Army 1-0 here in the top of the fifth. Aiden Dowd has been dealing for the boys from the Bronx. 5 strikeouts through 4 innings of work thus far, showing no signs of slowing down, Will.
And here he is again coming out for the 5th inning. Even though the Rams have some activity in the bullpen, it's right-handed pitcher Brady Gannon getting loose and throwing, but nothing crazy. He's just doing some stretching and tossing down there and be waiting in the wings for Dowd. But if I'm Coach Kevin Layton, I want Dowd going all the way through for as long as he can. Only 53 pitches through 4 innings. And on the flip side of that coin, Justin Lehman only 33 in his 4 innings of work. So we're getting a nice little pitcher's duel treat on this St. Patrick's Day, Collins. 5 strikeouts still for Dowd as he goes through this lineup for a second time through. We'll have Hewitt, Schreck, and Andrzejewski 7, 8, and 9 coming up now for the Black Knights.
And Hewitt stands in the left side of the batter's box. He's ready. Dowd's ready. First pitch. Hewitt showing bunt. That'll be down for a ball, 1-0. Hewitt 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, hitting 116 on the season, Will. It has not been an easy go for him. 1-0, skied foul, 1-1.
So, with that being said, kind of like the idea of him laying a bunt down. Booch over there at third base playing a little bit behind the bag, and Lutazi, I should say, playing well deep. So, batting 116, little bunt single, goes a long way.
The 1-1, that's skied towards center field. Teasy will center under it and make the play for the first out of the top of the 5th. So that'll make way for Thomas Schreck. 0 for 1 this far. Schreck, certainly a versatile player for this Army bunch. A sophomore, infielder, 5'9", 180 pounds. I tend to think of him as more of a gadget player, Will. Was 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts against Fordham on Friday. First pitch, outside, ball 1-0.
Still trying to find his footing there in the box this year. Colin batting .206 is Schreck. In 18 games started, 10 RBIs to his credit. So more of a defensive presence for this Black Knights team, and rounding out the order.
Schreck looks at a strike inside, 1-1. Dowd doing a good job of changing eye level, working north-south, but has shown flashes of that east-west game as well. 1-1 pitch. That's laced foul towards first base.
And once again, Colin, right-handed hitter. Does it really seem, though, as though the Fordham defense is shifting from their plan, I guess? Every righty so far has had an extreme pull shift on them. I don't know if it has something to do with the tendencies. It definitely has something to do with the tendencies, obviously, but maybe the wind a little bit as well. I don't know, but every right-handed hitter has this extreme shift where Steve Lutase is the only one on the right side of the field at first base.
As umpire called time there for a moment. As we're going to get a slight stoppage here before we continue in the Bronx. Fordham leading 1-0 in the top of the 5th. 1 out. So far, Aiden Dowd, 1-2 count on Thomas Schreck, and the pitch way upstairs, 2-2.
And could signal maybe a little bit of tiredness from Dowd. Those last couple breaking balls not really having the same bite on them as well as the ones that he had in the first couple of innings.
2-2, fouled away. We'll do it again. And as a pitcher, how badly do you want to get through that 5th inning and get credit for that win, potentially, Will?
I think it's more for Dowd, Colin. It's just showing that he can get through the lineup multiple times. If you're in his position, I wouldn't be too concerned about being the winning pitcher. Just show Coach Layton that you can get through this lineup 2, maybe even 3 times if he can get through this inning. But now, throwing a little more balls here than the 3rd and 4th inning. But just got to get through that order and show that you can be a consistent arm day in and day out.
And Dowd slung one upstairs. It'll be a full count. Here's the 3-2. Got him to swing. He struck him out. That's punch-out number 6 for Aiden Dowd today, as he's continuing what has been a pivotal performance for this Fordham team.
Schreck, he wanted the walk there, but Tim Carey behind the dish had all eyes on it, didn't need an appeal or anything of that nature. But yes, Colin, 6 strikeouts for the freshman Dowd and putting together quite the masterful performance.
Paul Andrzejewski looks at a strike to start his AB, 0-1. Andrzejewski 1 for 1 so far today, hitting .300 even on the season. Dowd looking in, kicks, fires. 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1. Some of those pitches not having the same bite as you mentioned, not hitting his spots with the same elegance as he was earlier.
Yeah, definitely some of those breaking balls leaking a little bit more over the plate or a little more away from the plate. Not really as precise as he was with some of those located breaking pitches in the first few innings, but that's all right. He's putting together quite the outing, though, Colin. I really can't say enough how well and how sharp he's looked here in his 4th start of the season.
1-1 pitch skied away. We'll go to 1-2. Here is that 1-2 pitch. Chopped foul. As Andrzejewski trying to put together at least a solid at-bat with 2 away in the inning against Dowd, who is beginning to show signs of attrition at the moment. Fordham leading 1-0 in the top of the 5th here in the Bronx.
He's lowering that season ERA. Came in to this one with an ERA of 1.42. Now under 1 at 0.82 and up to 18 strikeouts on the season in 11 innings pitched. Not going to get one there, and another ball.
Is that one off-speed pitch? Just couldn't hit the outside part of the zone. Dipped too far outside that time. Perhaps a slider. 2-2. Fouled again. Andrzejewski putting together a nice at-bat at the very least.
You have to think that this is probably going to be Dowd's last batter. Go out on a high note here. With an out here, he will have faced the West Point lineup 2 full times.
2-2. Chopped right back towards Dowd. He'll sling it over to Lutazzi at first. Not a great throw. Kind of skied it a little bit, but Lutazzi does come down on the bag to make the play and record the out. Fordham leading 1-0. Let's go towards the bottom of the 5th, but not before a one-on-one scoreboard with Julia Moss.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Sticking in the A-10, we have a lot of 1 p.m. first pitch matchups in the conference. The St. Bonaventure Bonnies play Mount St. Mary's, St. Joseph's will play Monmouth, VCU squares off against Princeton, and UMass hosts Citadel. Again, all of those matchups will have a 1 p.m. first pitch. Let's talk some NCAA men's basketball conference championship scores, because yesterday the Tar Heels of North Carolina were upset by the NC State Wolfpack 84-76. Securing themselves the ACC championship. Looking at today's matchups, the SEC title is on the line as the Florida Gators will face off against the Auburn Tigers in just a few moments. Tip-off for that one is at 1 o'clock p.m. The Wisconsin Badgers and the Illinois Fighting Illini will battle it out for the Big Ten championship later this afternoon at 3 p.m. Ending it with some scores around the ice, it's a New York showdown at MSG today as the Islanders will face off against the Rangers at 1 o'clock p.m. And the Devils travel to Sin City to play the Las Vegas Golden Knights at 3:30 p.m. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Julia Moss.
Hello and welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Along with Will Tallant, I'm Colin Loughran. Fordham leading Army 1-0 as we're getting set to start the bottom of the 5th. This one has been a pitcher's duel, to say the least. Christian Arrow, responsible for the lone Fordham run, came by way of a solo home run that skied over the left field wall. Steve Lutazzi, the batter to face Justin Lehman. First pitch, off speed, that'll be a ball, 1-0.
And yeah, Colin, really, Gennaro, the only source of offense on both sides of the ball in this AM-PM contest now.
This one from Lutazzi, fly towards left field. Parker coming on, but it'll be the shortstop Schreck who makes the play, and what a play it was. Went back towards the Fordham block F, as Loughran Park, a multi-sport facility. For those that may not be familiar, that is quite the trek just made back towards the 50 of the football field.
Shrek with his back to the infield. If you're an infielder there, you probably should just let your left fielder, and in this case, William Parker, take that. But nevertheless, a great play there from Shrek. The wind definitely causing a lot of havoc, especially with those little pop-ups up in the air there.
Nico Boza takes a strike to start his AB. 0-1. And now 0-2 as Lehman lays in an off-speed pitch that is towards the inside part of the zone.
Bosa, a strikeout victim, back in the third inning.
As Bosa swings and misses down on strikes, 3 pitches, 3 strikes. That's another strikeout for Lehman, his 4th of the day.
Second of Bosa as well, Colin, and that's going to bring up Chris Gennaro, as we were saying, the only offense for the Rams today. Home run solo shot into the left center field gap back in the third inning. Only real damage at all that Lehman has seen. Even that single that Keen Saylor had back in the first inning was just a little blooper. So if you're looking at Lehman for his day, this was really a one-barrel day so far.
Gennaro takes a strike, and that'll be a ball on the second pitch of the at-bat. As that home run certainly had a nice exit velocity on it, Will. It was a streamer out towards left field. 1-1. He's going to rip that one towards center field, more towards right center field. Gennaro's looking for 2 as that's into the gap, and he's going to get it. Chris Gennaro now 2 for 2 with a home run and a double. Fordham will have a runner in scoring position, up 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs.
How about that, Colin? A little 2-out magic from the veteran shortstop Chris Gennaro, splitting all kinds of gaps, goes left center in the 3rd. How about right center in the 5th? Good little extra base hit, his 2nd extra base hit of the day now, Colin, and little run out there for Ryan Teasy. Single back in the 1st inning, and going to have a little chat there on the mound.
Perhaps a good time to have such a chat. Gennaro has had Lehman's number so far today. One of the very few Fordham hitters who has had Lehman's number today. So we'll have to see how Army chooses to handle this sort of situation. Only needing 1 out to get out of the bottom of the 5th, but they'll have to record it against Ryan Teasy, one of Fordham's better hitters, hitting .333 on the season, 1 for 2 today as well.
I want to revisit that Gennaro at-bat there for a second, Colin. Chris Gennaro, something that not a lot of people know, is that in his career as a collegiate shortstop, he's batting just over .500 against all sliders and curveballs. And that is quite the statistic for Chris Gennaro, a guy who puts the ball in play a ton, but to get it to count on breaking pitches just like that, sliders and curveballs, it's very impressive.
Teasy grounds to short, handled by Shrek, thrown onto Hewitt at first, who reaches away but records the out. So Army escapes after the Chris Gennaro double, but Fordham still leads this one by a score of 1-0. Let's go to the top of the 6th here in the Bronx. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
What's going on, guys? Bridge Gotham here, your New York Giants beat reporter for WFUV Sports. Be on the lookout for weekly reports and game recaps on WFUV's YouTube channel. We'll be covering the action all season long. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at BGBridge for updates throughout the games. For all things Big Blue, stay tuned all season long.
Hello and welcome back to some Fordham Rams baseball on WFUV Sports. Fordham leading Army by a score of 1-0 as we head towards the top of the 6th inning. Aiden Dowd's day is done for the Rams. There'll be a new pitcher in. It's Gannon Brady, the junior from Ocean City, New Jersey. And Will, you were saying in between innings, Gannon Brady, very much a high-velocity sort of pitcher.
Absolutely, Colin. Standing in at 6'2", 200 pounds, and Gotta love it. Ocean City, New Jersey. That's Brady Gannon, number 10. Big right-handed pitcher. He'll get up there to the low 90s on that fastball. I'm going to sit around 87 to 89, but definitely can reel it back to 91, 92. One of the more lively arms, not only in the bullpen, but on this staff entirely. So some electrifying stuff. One thing with him, though, Colin, he needs to bear down just how Aiden Dowd found the strike zone in his own way. Gannon, he needs to find the strike zone as well.
Gannon Brady, through 7 2/3 innings of work, has surrendered 12 hits, struck out 4, has an ERA of 15.26, certainly trying to get that number down. As Derek Berg will step up for Army to lead off this top of the 6th inning. Brady kicks, deals. There's a strike, 0-1.
And that right there, Colin, is what he calls his gyro slider kind of changeup thing. It's a very interesting pitch. It moves just like an Ephus pitch does, but it's so much faster, and it breaks even more. So definitely a nice pitch. Good to see him utilizing that today.
Second pitch skied foul. It'll be 0-2, and Aiden Dowd finished after what was an exceptional performance. 5 innings of work, 2 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts through 70 pitches. Couldn't ask for much better from the freshman. Brady fires one in. It'll be fouled off by Derek Berg. Berg 1 for 2 so far today. Gannon Brady comes set, looking in, kicks, delivers, in the dirt. That'll be a ball. 1-2. Brady, a bit of a compact delivery, Will, out of the stretch.
Always out of the stretch from Mr. Brady Gannon.
1-2. Berger got a good piece, but ripped it towards the netting. We'll stay at 1-2.
Likes to work very fast. Obviously, we have the pitch clock now in all levels of baseball. But with that aside, Brady Gannon, one of the more quicker workers on this staff.
1-2 pitch. Chopped towards the middle of the field, handled by Nico Boza. He'll throw over towards Lutazzi for the out. And good on Boza to stick with it. Berg got a good piece of that one.
He ripped that one right back up the middle, but that's why they have this extreme right-handed shift on all right-handed hitters for Army, as Boza will now shade more towards the right field side of the diamond as Sam Ruda steps in for the Black Knights. But nevertheless, another very athletic play for Nico Boza and the Fordham middle infield all the way around.
Sam Ruda takes strike 1, 0-1. Ruda 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far. Fordham has kept a .338 hitter on the season at bay so far today, and it's been a low-scoring affair. 0-1 pitch off speed, very low. McAndrews stuck with it, though, 1-1.
And against left-handed pitchers, we should definitely expect this fastball from Gannon a whole lot. 67.4% is the usage rate, as of course I say that and he throws a breaking ball. But 15 and 17% are curveball and sliders, respectively, out of the hands of Brady Gannon when facing a left-handed pitcher.
2-1 pitch. There's a strike. 2-2. It's very tough to read the mind of a pitcher and try and figure out just what they're going to throw in a given situation. Not easy by any stretch. It's the gamut hitters have to go through each and every day. 2-2. Close to look to third base for an appeal, but it'll be a ball. 3-2, full count.
And the Rams going with a very similar pitcher-esque build today. Fastball, curveball, cutter, slider. And this gyro slider that Gannon struts out.
3-2 in the dirt. Ruda will work a walk. Army will have a base runner.
It's the first Army base runner since Titus walked back in the 4th inning now, and 1 out base runner for the Black Knights.
Braden Galinsky will step up now for the Black Knights. 0 for 1 with a walk as Gannon Brady tries to preserve a 1-0 Fordham lead with 1 away here in the top of the 6th. First pitch, Grounded towards the right side of the infield. Will get through the hole for a base hit. So Galinsky with a single. And now runners at first and second for the Black Knights.
Designated number 3, Colin Titus.
That'll make way for Colson Titus now. As Army trying to battle back, put something on the scoreboard run-wise.
One thing to notice here now, Colin, about Titus is the kind of counts that he's worked. One full count last time around that resulted in a walk and a strikeout back in the first, but if we remember correctly, a lot of foul balls in that at bat. That count ran 2-2, but definitely not the kind of batter that you want right now, especially if you're Brady Gannon. Going to have to work even harder now to get that ground ball. That's the ideal situation. Maybe a little tailor-made double play, hold the lead. But once again, that just for the second time today, the Black Knights with 2 runners on base.
Brady lays in a strike. Now a ball outside. Good on McAndrews to keep in front of it. Fordham leads 1-0. Galinsky leading off of first. Ruda leading off of second. Colson Titus, the hitter, with a 1-1 count and 1 away in the top of the 6th. The 1-1 from Brady. Slightly upstairs. We'll go to 2-1. Worth noting, no one warming up in the Fordham bullpen. This is Brady's mess to work out of, as he'll get Titus to swing through that one. 2-2.
There it is. Averages about 86 miles an hour on that fastball, and that one well by Colson Titus. A big strike on the outside corner, Colin, but Gannon really in search of a ground ball right here.
2-2 pitch. Very close, but a ball. 3-2.
Definitely do not want to load the bases here, Colin.
Some groans from the home faithful here at Loughran Park after that
Didn't like that call. They didn't like it. I thought it was a little outside, too, so we'll give Tim Carey his flowers there. It's all right.
The full count pitch. Swung on skied towards right field. That will be Canellis to make the play. Ruda thought about advancing towards second, thought better of it, went back. So runners will remain at first and second, but 2 away now in the top of the 6th as Fordham trying to preserve a 1-0 lead over Army.
That's a great job there by Andrew Canellis. Obviously Brady Gannon as well, but Canellis to really play that, it was a shallow fly ball out in the right field, shading over to foul territory, but with the wind as it is today, anything could really go down. And Canellis, strong throw to Gennaro as the cutoff man holds Ruda at second base. And here we are, first and second, still just a 1-0 ball game now. But Brady Gannon, Colin, really needs to bear down and get one more out.
And William Parker up to bat for Army. Takes ball 1-0. Gannon Brady trying to get out of this jam. 1-0 pitch. Chopped foul towards the left side of the infield. William Parker 0 for 2 thus far with a strikeout. Certainly not indicative of the kind of player he can be for Army and has been for Army.
Cannon, love to get one of those ground balls right now.
1-1 pitch. Fouled back towards Keating Hall. We'll go to 1-2. Parker hit .270 last season in 16 games. Total slash line 270, 378, 388. Not too shabby. 1-2 pitch.
Whoa.
Just inside. We'll go to 2-2.
Wow. I think my reaction right there could tell a little bit of the story right there. Breaking ball. Tim Carey didn't like it. I thought that definitely caught the inside corner. Gannon really could have used it there. Would have been a backwards K, but nevertheless, deuce is wild on the scoreboard.
2-2. Ball. Ball 3, 3-2. Fordham leading 1-0. Runners at first and second here in the top of the 6th.
Second full count now for Brady Gannon, this time with 2 outs. That'll put the runners in motion.
3-2 pitch. He kicks, he deals. Swung on and drilled towards left field, more like skied. Saylor will center under it and make the play. Fordham leading 1-0. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th here in the Bronx. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
What's up, guys? I'm Julia Moss.
And I'm Will Tallant.
And we're two of your hosts for one of WFUV's football podcasts, NFL Friday.
Tune in every Friday for all news and updates around the National Football League.
Also, we'll be making our picks of the week around the league on every episode. Check out NFL Friday wherever you get your podcasts to catch the action.
Hello and welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Along with Will Tallant, I'm Colin Loughran. Fordham leading Army 1-0. We're going to the bottom of the sixth. It's been a pitcher's duel. Aiden Dow did his job for the Fordham Rams. Gannon Brady also got out of a bit of a jam in the top half of the inning. Fordham up to bat now, looking to tack on some more runs. Will, it's been a struggle so far. The Chris Gennaro home run accounting for the lone Fordham run, also had a double. Other than him, really no one has had a good read on Lehman for Army, but they'll get a chance to face a new pitcher now. Joe Valchar will be the pitcher. Through 10 1/3 innings of work this year, he's allowed 11 hits, struck out 8, has an ERA of 8.71, trying to get that number back down towards earth.
Pitcher in the windup as well, has a little bit of a sidearm delivery too, to go along with his big frame. Joe Valchar, he will face the middle of this Fordham Rams lineup with Bucciero, Canellis, and McAndrews to start things up. But as you said, Colin, no true answer to anything that Lehman had other than Chris Gennaro in general, a home run and a double. This Fordham offense, though, holding their own for what they need. You know, you just need one run to win a ball game, and the defense and pitching has really been the story. But Fordham could definitely use some life in this lineup starting right now.
First pitch to Bucciero, off speed, in for a strike. So Valchar starting off the right way, as Lehman was certainly good for Army, as good as it gets outside of the solo shot given up to Gennaro, as Bucciero slaps one towards short, picked up by Schreck, thrown on to Hewitt at first, and that's out number 1. Final line on Lehman, 5 innings of work, 1 run, 1 earned run, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, the 1 home run given up. But now Valchar, the man on the bump for the Black Knights. Andrew Canellis will stand in now for Fordham. Valchar sets. He kicks. He delivers. That's a ball, 1-0.
And just a little note there on Lehman, how great his day was. No walks as well to his name. Just 1 hit batsman, and that was Tommy McAndrews back in the 4th. So Aiden Dowd, Justin Lehman will put a ribbon on that starter line today, but it was quite the pitcher's duel to start this AM matchup, Colin.
Without question, be a 1-1 count now to Canellis. 1-1 swings through that one, 1-2, and it looks as if Berg got hit by the pitch or the backswing of Canellis, not sure, as he's having some trouble getting up. May have just gotten the wind knocked out of him, as you never want to see that, Will.
To be honest with you, Colin, I had my head down, and all I saw was him go down. He just stood back up and now is back down, grimacing in some pain. I did not get a read on it. Was it the foul ball, or was it the backswing of Canellis that clipped Berg there?
It was very hard to tell from this vantage point, but it appears as if he's in some pain as it pertains to his thigh, perhaps a groin injury on a backswing or the pitch. But regardless, certainly not a fun feeling as a catcher, and catchers take a beating throughout the course of a season.
Oh, just in the entire year, even in the fall, the kind of work that these collegiate catchers put themselves through, and going to class every day as well. And Berg getting a nice round of applause. He's going to stay in this one, so he'll be all right. But definitely catchers take the most beating, and baseball, obviously, but one of the most beatings overall through all sports. It's a 24/7 gig to make sure your pitchers are right.
1-2 from Valchar, fouled off by Canellis. As Tommy McAndrews in the on-deck circle for Fordham, watching on it. What just occurred with Berg had to be thinking to himself, oof, I know that feeling all too well. I'm certain almost every catcher has most likely been through a similar circumstance over the course of their career.
Of course. Bumps and bruises. They got them all.
As Valchar strikes out Canellis on the 1-2 pitch, as he's had a nice start to his day. That'll make way for Tommy McAndrews. As mentioned, he has struggled mightily. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That brings his total batting average on the season down to 185. No home runs, only 5 ribeyes for him so far. First pitch, a ball, 1-0.
McAndrews, very pure hitter, though. Despite this very slow start, and I know you only get so many games in a college season, and do anticipate him getting back going as he gets drilled once again.
As he'll take his free base. Fordham will take any base runners that they can get, any way that they can get them in this sort of game. They've strung together 5 hits, but outside of the Gennaro solo shot, they've been unable to put any other runs on the scoreboard. As Kean Saylor will come to bat, looking to do damage for his Rams. Valchar now working out of the stretch. He'll kick, he'll deliver. Saylor chops it towards first base, easily grabbed by Hewitt. He'll walk it back to the bag for the out. Fordham leading 1-0. We'll go towards the top of the 7th inning here in the Bronx. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports.
Hey everybody, I'm Lou Orlando.
And I'm Brian Raybacks. We're your 2 broadcasters for the 2023 Fordham football season.
Follow along as CJ Montez, MJ Wright, and James Conway look to lead Joe Conlon's Rams to a Patriot League title.
You can listen to us all season long on 90.7 FM and WFUVsports.org.
WFUV Sports, the flagship station for Fordham football.
Hello and welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. The loudspeakers playing U2's Beautiful Day here at Loughran Park, and it is indeed a beautiful day. Fordham leading Army 1-0 as we go towards the top of the 7th inning here. And Will, it's been a pitcher's duel through and through. Neither offense has generated much of anything. The Chris Gennaro solo shot, the lone source of offense for Fordham.
Yeah, and he has a double as well. He's really been the only offense at all. Kean Saylor, Ryan Teasy also collecting hits of their own. Tommy McAndrews, 2 hit by pitches. He slides right into the top for that team lead, all in just 3 plate appearances today. Collects hit by pitches 3 and 4. But, you know, you normally wouldn't highlight that, Colin, but despite what we've seen so far, that's all we really have. It's just kind of the base runners that we've seen, hit by pitches, walks, singles, and the Chris Gennaro home run, and that's really been it. Excellent pitching so far as Brady Gannon will go out for his 2nd inning of work. Joe Valchar looked really nice for the Black Knights in his 1st inning of work.
Ethan Ellis, the batter, first pitch swinging, lines that one towards right field. Canellis will handle it and record the first out of the top of the 7th.
And now I think I need to jump in now because this is just how the game has been going. If you want to get something out, you got to say it before something happens. But a lot of first pitch swinging today, Colin, and we're seeing a lot of these quick outs and why, you know, this game has just been moving as it has. And first pitch outs, first pitch swinging, not on that one, but a lot of strikes thrown today on both sides of the ball.
Carter Hewitt, the batter. First pitch from Brady outside, 1-0. 1-0 pitch. That one fouled off. We'll go to 1-1, and sometimes the ambush tactics work. Sometimes they don't, Will. There's really no right or wrong way to approach hitting at the plate unless there's a known tendency that you're able to exploit. And these teams have played each other 2 other times, as that one's grounded towards third base for a single. A diving Bucciero couldn't come up with it. And there's a base hit for Carter Hewitt.
I think that's what makes it even more surprising, though, Colin, because the 2 games that they played against each other earlier this season were not low-scoring affairs whatsoever, but maybe more to your point that they've played each other so much now that they know that the tendencies that well, and we're seeing the result that we are getting. But a nice piece right there from Hewitt out of the reach of Bucciero. Gannon needs another ground ball.
That first pitch, low and in the dirt for a ball. McAndrews stayed in front of it, 1-0. So Army with a base runner. That was their 4th hit of the ball game. As Hewitt leading off of first base. 1-0 pitch. Downstairs, 2-0.
And it's Thomas Schreck, the shortstop, Colin, a fly out to center field and a strikeout back in the 5th. That, as we were saying, though, more known for his defense. And a great play out there over in the 50. That came back in the 5th inning. Calling off William Parker on that pop-up, but trying to add to the offense here in the top half of the 7th for the Black Knights.
2-0 pitch was way inside, letter high. 3-0 count now. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That one inside as well. Schreck will work a walk, and now Army will have runners at first and second. Fordham leading 1-0 in the top of the 7th, 1 away. Gannon Brady trying to work out of trouble for a second straight inning. It looks as if the Rams will have a powwow at the mound, as there is someone up in the Fordham bullpen. Cannot tell who it is at this moment from this vantage point, Will, but Brady worked his way out of trouble once. He'll try and do so again, but how many times would you want to roll that dice if you're Coach Layton?
Yeah, definitely can't tell who it is out there, but as you said, action is getting going in the bullpen. But if you're Coach Layton, to answer your question there, Colin, I think you got to go with Gannon here just for the batter. At the very least, you have the righty-righty matchup. Let him get out of his own mess. He is a junior. He is accustomed to situations like this, as pitching coach Elliot Glynn had his word with Gannon. But to answer your question, Colin, you got to let him bear down. You got to let him get out of his own mess. And if this is not the batter where it is done, especially in the 9-hole, get a fresh arm out there for the top of the order. So definitely anticipate this to be Brady Gannon's final batter.
Paul Andrzejewski, the batter. First pitch, swinging, swung on and missed, 0-1. And Gannon Brady, the junior, as you mentioned, trying to work his way out of trouble.
And I should clarify, too, his last batter, if he cannot get Andrzejewski out.
0-1. Off speed, fouled off, 0-2. 2 straight strikes from the junior from Ocean City.
And if I'm Gannon right now, especially how this at-bat has gone, I'm going right back with that fastball, going on the inner half, maybe go up and in there, use that 90s plus, really bear down and get a K.
0-2 off speed in the dirt. McAndrews stays in front of it, as the sophomore catcher has made a couple of defensive plays like that one that have kept Fordham in ball games over the course of his career.
Well, you can throw pitches like that with 2 strikes if you have a backstop like Tommy McAndrews back there. Like I said before the pitch, I would have gone fastball, but you can mix and match, especially if your battery works in tandem.
Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Gannon Brady punches him out, his first strikeout of the game in a pivotal spot. 2 away now in the top of the 7th with 2 runners on for Army. Fordham clinging to a 1-0 lead.
Going to face now the catcher Derek Berg, Colin, and no easy test. 1 for 3 on his day, single back in the 3rd, and there's a ground out to Nico Bosa, victim twice. But they weren't just ground outs, those were loud ground outs, especially this past one in the 6th inning. Came off of Gannon as well, so.
Berg at the top of the Army order. First pitch, there's a strike, 0-1.
I love it there, Colin. Go first pitch fastball, mean business. You need a big out right here, so establish your presence on the mound and just bear down against the leadoff hitter for the Black Knights.
0-1 pitch to Berg. In the dirt, 1-1. Hewitt leading off of second. Shrek leading off of first. Fordham up 1-0 in the top of the 7th. 2 away. A 1-1 count.
Makes me feel good about my own computer.
Gannon Brady comes set. Looking in. He kicks. He deals. Off-speed pitch ripped towards the left side. Grabbed by Bushiero at third base. And Fordham once again escapes trouble. They lead 1-0. Let's head towards the bottom of the 7th inning, but not before we have a one-on-one scoreboard report with the great Julia Moss.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
It's a day full of A-10 baseball. A slew of 2 o'clock p.m. starts, including Davidson squaring off against Tennessee Tech, Dayton plays host to Eastern Illinois, and St. Louis faces off against Southeastern Louisiana. And as a reminder, Fordham's day isn't done after this matchup. They'll be back at 3:30 p.m. to play Fairfield. Stay tuned on our YouTube page for the call from Will and Colin. Zooming out to the pitch and the MLS, yesterday was full of red cards for the league. The New York Red Bulls played one down in their loss to Columbus 3-0, while NYCFC had a red card of their own, but won against Toronto 2-1. Moving over to women's college basketball, we have some conference championship updates. Holy Cross up on Boston University 27-21 after 2 quarters in a battle for the Patriot League. And Sacred Heart is commanding their matchup against Lemoyne, up 32-16 at the half in their quest for a Northeast Conference championship. A lot of teams hoping to clinch their spot in the NCAA tournament today. The bracket show will be revealed tonight. The men's selection show is at 6 with the women's at 8. With the one-on-one scoreboard, I'm Julia Moss.
Thank you, Julia, and welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Fordham leading Army 1-0. Gannon Brady worked his way out of trouble in the top half of the 7th inning. Now we're in the bottom half. Fordham looking to put some runs on the scoreboard. Easier said than done, though, Will. It's been a struggle for them so far. Joe Valchar out for another inning of work.
And Valchar, not making it any easier on the Rams, especially with that kind of 3/4 delivery. The only real trouble he got himself into was that hit by pitch of McAndrews back in the 6th. Other than that, a ground out, a strikeout, and another ground out to conclude his 6th inning. And look at that fastball really humming in there, looking like it's in the upper 80s. But only a few hits to Fordham's name. 5 hits, that is, and just the lone run still on that Gennaro blast. But 4 hits to the West Point Black Knights' name as well. So, Colin, a lovely pitcher's duel on this St. Patrick's Day, but Fordham definitely needing to get some more offense on the board.
And something worth noting, I don't see there. Oh, nope, there he is. There's Derek Berg. And for a while, there was another catcher behind the plate catching warm-ups. And, of course, Berg dealt with some discomfort earlier in this ballgame. It was a question mark as to whether or not he would come out for this inning. But, indeed, he is there. So, good to see him out. Good to see him playing. And I never want to see a catcher have to endure that sort of pain over the course of a ballgame, Will. But Fordham, nonetheless, will look to add to what is a 1-run lead. TJ Wachter will lead off the bottom of the 7th against Joe Valchar.
Wachter, 2 lineouts to his name, coming in the 2nd and the 4th innings. A lineout to center field and a lineout to second base.
First pitch. Skewed towards the right side of the infield, will get through for a base hit, and just like that, Fordham has a leadoff base runner.
And good for TJ. Puts a few barrels on the baseball today, and then he hits a little squibber, and that's the base hit, but the barrels are not. That's just how the game goes. 1 for 3 is the big fella, 6'7" guy out of P27 Academy.
The squibber. Now that's a good one. I should have used that one.
You could have gone with Nubber, Swibber. We got a whole plethora here.
Went with he skewed it towards the right side of the infield as Steve Lutazzi takes ball 1 at the plate, 1-0 with Wachter leading off of first. Fordham leading 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Valchar kicks, deals. Ball 2, 2-0. So Lutazzi with an advantage count.
Advantage count, advantage side of the plate as well. Lutazzi, the lefty, facing the right-hander Valchar. Big open hole there, right up the middle and just a little bit on the right side.
2-0 pitch, tried to hold a swing, couldn't do it, 2-1. Lutazi 0 for 2 so far with a strikeout, hitting 175 on the season. Looking to get back in rhythm. 2-1 pitch, that will be fouled off.
As we said before, Colin, Lutazi, transfer out of UMass, stays in the A-10. 274 lifetime average with 11 home runs and 65 RBIs up in Amherst. And this year, 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Very fast start. Had 5 RBIs in his first 3 games. But as you said, Colin, trying to get back on track as we head to the halfway point in this season.
Most definitely. A 2-2 pitch was way inside. It'll be a full count with Wachter leading off first. 3-2 pitch. Wachter's going to go. He'll take second easily. It'll be a walk for Lutazi. Fordham will now have runners at first and second with a 1-0 lead with no outs in the bottom of the 7th.
There's the key point right there, Colin. Nobody out. This is the first time all game that the Fordham Rams have had back-to-back base runners to open up an inning, and they're opening it up at a great time. Nico Boza, although a 2-strikeout victim today, having a great season so far, still batting well over 300. And then, of course, Chris Gennaro to round out the lineup, who was 2 for 2, 2 extra base hits today. So perfect opportunity if you're the Rams to get something going, especially with the top of the lineup just waiting in the wings.
And one of the team's better hitters about to take his cuts, that's Nico Boza. Although it's been a struggle for him today, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's been good this year, hitting .323, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. And worth mentioning, Coach Layton, a coach that likes to lay down the bunt from time to time. Would it be surprising at all to see Boza lay down a bunt, or are you going to let your hitters hit in this type
Absolutely
of situation?
not. I think a bunt here would be absolutely the right move to do. Get Bosa going a little bit today with the 2 strikeouts. Yes, he's having a great year, but let's focus on the now. Today has not been that great, so let's lay a bunt down as Army will play in and anticipate it and get your hottest hitter in Chris Gennaro up with runners in scoring position. That's a great bunt right there.
And there is the bunt from Boza, and he'll do his job. The sacrifice successful. Runners will move to second and third, making way for a man who has clearly eaten his Wheaties today or ate them before this one, Chris Gennaro. Rocking a 2 for 2 line with a home run and an RBI on the solo shot. He'll have an opportunity to extend Fordham's lead.
And just as we said, Colin, this is exactly what you want if you're Coach Kevin Layton. A beautiful bunt there by Nico Bosa, something that he is very good at in practice as well as consistently always getting them down on the machine. That puts the bat in the right guy's hands.
First pitch from Valchar outside, 1-0, as Army's defense playing in will. Anything on the ground maybe sent home directly.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a breaking ball here and Gennaro does something with it. Sac fly obviously will do the trick.
1-0 pitch, got a piece of it, but brought it out towards right field, foul. 1-1 count for Chris Gennaro. The Greenwich native trying to come up big for his Rams. Voucher kick, steals. That's high, 2-1.
Definitely pitching around Gennaro, as would anybody who is 2 for 2 with 2 extra base hits, and in a pivotal spot in the game, could blow it wide open right here, especially with how the Army bats have been playing today.
2-1, way inside, ball 3. 3-1 count, runners at second and third for Fordham. They're up 1-0 with 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. Ryan Teasy in the on-deck circle for the men in maroon.
It's the trade-off here. Definitely you don't want to throw to Gennaro right now, Colin, but the trade-off is walk Gennaro and face Ryan Teasy, one of the better leadoff hitters that you can have up there.
3-1, strike. Called strike, 3-2. Gennaro took it, thought it was upstairs.
Don't blame him. Tim Carey's been calling that a ball all day. Calls it a strike here in the 7th, so got to open it up and protect a little bit now.
We'll have a full count. Valchar sets. He kicks. He fires the 3-2. Gennaro rips it foul.
Hey, have a day, Chris Gennaro. I think whatever happens here, a 7-8 pitch at bat, doing exactly what you're supposed to do, trying to find a pitch to drive with two runners in scoring position. Fordham really, really looking for a little offensive spark here, give themselves a little bit of cushion.
Full count. Slap towards second. Be thrown home. It's not going to be caught by the catcher. The run will score for Fordham. That's Wachter. And here comes another run. It'll be 3-0 Rams. Lutazzi comes across to score. Gennaro will advance to second after the poor throw from Andruski at second. 3-zip Rams.
And that's going to be an RBI there for Chris Gennaro. Once again, 2 RBIs on the day for the senior shortstop. And it's not a base hit, but counts just the same. 2 runs scored, just a little bit of an overthrow. Army, perfect defense right there, exactly what you want, a ground ball. And, you know, every inch matters. And that right there, Teasy, he'll show bunt and take low. But, Colin, it's a 3-0 ball game now in Fordham. With a little bit of breathing room, they can open up and use that bullpen a little bit.
And Andruski fielded it cleanly, just couldn't get a good throw off to Berg at home. Fordham takes advantage. 2 runs will score, 3-0 Rams. As Teasy swings at that one, it'll be a 1-1 count now. As anything can change in the blink of an eye in that play. An example of not paying attention to the small details, not making a perfectly clean throw. It'll be an error for Andruski as Teasy slaps this one towards right field. It'll be down for a base hit. Gennaro thought about coming home, thought better of it, will retreat to third. There'll be runners at the corners now for Fordham. They're up 3-0 with 1 away in the bottom of the 7th.
And how about that, Colin? A little magic here in the 7th inning. Get 2 leadoff guys on. A nice little sack bunt will manufacture a run. Take what you can get on the error. And here we are at the top of the lineup. Ryan Teasy doing what he does best. A 2-hit day, another multi-hit game for the senior center fielder. And that's going to bring up the big boppers. We'll start with Daniel Bucciero, 1 for 3 on his day. But a glorious RBI opportunity to really blow this one open, Colin.
Valchar, 28 pitches, 1 run earned for him as Bucciero will take a strike. The other run considered unearned due to the bad throw from Andruski.
And I wouldn't be surprised here if Teasy decides to take off. Excellent speed, probably the fastest guy on this Fordham team. Get another runner in scoring position, and Valchar doing his due diligence, keeping him honest over there at first.
0-1 count. Bucciero looking to do damage and add to this Fordham lead. Runners at the corners. Valchar comes set, looking in, he fires. There's a ball. Count will be pushed to 1-1.
Big hole over there on the right side. Colin, a little bit of a right-handed hitter shift for Bucciero, and probably would do the same if I was calling the shots. He lined that, his only hit of the game, to left field over 100 miles an hour off the bat there. Fouls that one back, but a little base hit to the right side or even just a ground ball. With Teasy's speed, he'll probably make it in at second or somebody. Just something over to the right side. Get this 4th run across if you're the Rams and just put yourself 6 outs away from a much-needed victory.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and drilled towards center field. Galinsky will watch it fall in front of him. That's going to be an RBI single for Daniel Bucciero. Fordham will take a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. So an RBI single for Daniel Bucciero extends Fordham's lead.
Bucciero, Colin, his 9th RBI of the season. Runners on first and second now for the graduate Andrew Canellis. A golden opportunity to continue to get runs on the board and just take more and more pressure off of your pitching staff as much as you can, especially with Fairfield coming up on the PM side of this doubleheader.
First pitch outside to Canellis, 1-0. Fordham won the first contest against Army, 9-7. Won the second contest, 7-5, looking to sweep the season series. Canellis swings and misses, 1-1. Runners at first and second for the Rams. They're up 4-0 with one away in the bottom of the 7th.
Canellis, a great season, as we've been noting throughout the broadcast, but 0 for 3 today. Strikeout back in the 6th, and did have a nice piece, a line out into center field as Tim Carey, he's, kind of flip-flopping on these high strikes, Colin. That one right at the letters, he'll give it to Army.
1-2 from Valchar. He kicks, he deals. Grounded towards short. That'll be handled by Schreck. Tossed on to second. Andruski throws to first, and there's a double play. Army works their way out of some danger, but not before. Fordham scores 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th. The Rams have a 4-0 lead. Let's go to the top of the 8th. You're listening to Fordham Baseball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Mike Breen, WFUV class of 1983. WFUV is the flagship station of Fordham Athletics with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to Saturday one-on-one. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
Welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Along with Will Tallant, I'm Colin Loughran. Fordham leads Army 4-0 here in the top of the 8th. You've got a new pitcher for the Rams. It'll be Connor Haywood through 9 2/3 innings. He's surrendered 7 hits, struck out 11, has an ERA of 3.72. Haywood, of course, a junior from Connecticut, 6'2", 210 pounds. Will, tell us a little bit more about this pitcher.
Well, Connor Haywood, as you said, a junior out of Newtown, Connecticut, made an appearance against Wake Forest, just an inning in that matchup, but mainly being used as a relief pitcher this season. No starts to his name and only 8 in his collegiate career, but definitely known for the flow as he cuts his hair. First time I'm noticing that as he walks on the mound. Definitely has some of the best stuff on this Fordham roster. And as you said, Colin, a 3.72 ERA in just 9 2/3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 7 hits, and 11 strikeouts, but a great arm to have and going in for the 6-out appearance, hopefully.
Fordham leading 4-0, as mentioned. This one was a pitcher's duel, but a 3-run bottom of the 7th put them in the driver's seat, Will.
A 3-run bottom of the 7th, absolutely, Colin, and it started with T.J. Wachter and Steve Latuzzi getting leadoff base runners on for the Rams in the 7th for the first time back-to-back, and then a nice sac bunt from Nico Boza. Cristianero with his second RBI, and the rest ensued. It is now a 4-0 game.
First pitch to Ruda upstairs. It'll be 1-0 for Haywood. 1-0 pitch. Downstairs now, 2-0.
And here's the thing with Haywood. It all comes down to pacing himself and not overworking. Another one of these pitchers that really likes to work fast, but when he works a little too fast, he could get a little ahead of himself. And right there, that's staying composed as he gets a nice strike, 87 or so miles an hour on the outside corner.
Haywood trying to put away Ruda. Ruda 0 for 2 today with a walk and a strikeout. The pitch, there's a strike. 2-2 count now. Fordham's defense shifted towards the right side as it looks as if Bucciero, the lone man on the left side of the infield. 2-2, tipped. We'll do it again.
And that's actually Gennaro playing the natural shortstop position on the left side there. Bucciero will shade a little bit to the right as second base as Bosa goes deep into shallow right field. And Stephen Lutazzi hugging that line down the first base side.
Swung on and missed. There's a strikeout for Connor Haywood, his first of the day. Gets Ruder to go down on strikes. That'll make way for Braden Galinsky.
And it was that slider, Colin, a pitch he doesn't normally use a lot against left-handed hitters, about 15% of the time. 82% is the usage for his fastball, but great break right there. Fastball, changeup, slider mix. You'll see a heavy dose of those sliders. We saw at least 3 against Ruda.
First pitch, a ball to Galinsky. Top of the 8th, Fordham leading 4-0. Connor Haywood recorded his first strikeout on the previous batter. 1-0 pitch. Inside, that'll be a ball, 2-0. Fordham infield back to standard formation. Galinsky 1 for 2 today. Also has a walk to his name, as Army has yet to put up a run on the scoreboard. There's another ball, 3-1. As Aiden Dowd did his job for the first 5 innings for the Fordham Rams. Gannon Brady came in for 2, worked out of some trouble twice. That'll leave things for Connor Haywood now. There's a strike, 3-2. Or 3-1, excuse me.
Get me over strike right there. Lively fastball. Haywood averaging around 87 to 91 miles an hour on the four-seamer.
3-1, swung on a miss. Now we're at 3-2.
Go back to the fastball now. Only a few ways he can go right here. Definitely anticipate to see another fastball pitch that's been working for him so far.
He kicks, he deals. There's a walk. Ball 4, Galinsky will take his base. Colson Titus will step in now for Army. 0 for 2 so far with a strikeout, hitting .307 on the season, though, so he'll look to try and supercharge an Army lineup that has been held at bay for the most part today.
Colson Titus, though, an excellent example of what you would like out of a hitter up right now, especially with the counts that he's worked himself into so far.
That one chopped foul towards the third base side.
Back-to-back full counts for Titus. A 2-2 count that was prolonged and unfortunately ended in a strikeout for Titus back in the first. But if you're going to beat Haywood, you're going to make him throw a lot of pitches, and you're going to make him come to you.
0-1. Off speed, in for a strike. That one landed towards the knees. Good pitch from Haywood. Haywood will have an 0-2 count, a runner at first, 1 away in the top of the 8th. Titus will have to protect. Haywood sets, looking in, he kicks, he fires. Off-speed pitch, fouled away towards the parking lot. As Fairfield waiting in the wings for Fordham. They'll take on the Rams at 3 o'clock. This one against Army, the first of 2 games the Fordham Rams will have to play today at Loughran Park. 0-2 pitch laid in there for a strike, a called third strike. That's Haywood's second punch out of the day. 2 away now in the top of the 8th.
It's a brilliant spot right there, Colin, from Connor Haywood. A great breaking ball. His slider, definitely one of his better pitches to use right there. Tight little bite on it. Gets the outer half on Galinsky in the second, I should say Titus, second strikeout of the outing today for Haywood, and another tall test here in William Parker.
William Parker takes one upstairs, 1-0. As Army does have a base runner. Braden Galinsky leading off of first. William Parker the batter. Haywood trying to get his Rams to the middle of the 8th. 1-0 to Parker. Parker rips this one towards left field. That will be foul. As Parker gave that one a ride, just couldn't keep it in the field of play. A tense moment for Ram fans here at Loughran Park.
And William Parker, you know, definitely one of those more experienced bats in the lineup, batting .319 this season, 3 home runs and 20 RBIs. Definitely the kind of bat that Army wants, and Army has a lot of guys to choose from. William Parker, one of those better options.
That one in the dirt. Count will move to 21. Galinsky leading off of first. Parker at the plate. Righty on righty matchup between Haywood and Parker. Haywood comes set. He kicks. He delivers. Off-speed pitch down and away. We'll go to 3-1.
Hayward needing just one out here, but one thing to look for if he stays in for the ninth inning is get ahead and stay ahead.
3-1 pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. Parker will take his freebie. Runners at first and second now for the Black Knights. Fordham still leading 4-0 in the top of the 8th with 2 away. But Army threatening here as Ethan Ellis will step in and try and help his team get on the scoreboard.
Ethan Ellis 0 for 3 today, and F9 in his last try on the first pitch of that at-bat.
First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Belt high strike from Haywood. Haywood comes set, looking in. He'll kick. Here's the pitch. Way inside, almost hit Ellis, but it'll be a ball. We'll go to 1-1. One pitch. Off speed. Strike. 1-2.
Great pitch right there from Haywood. Ahead once again now, Colin. The defense shifted more to the left side of the field. Once again, if I'm Haywood, I'm going right inside with the fastball there. Don't want to mess around. Your velo is your strength. Stick with it.
That'll be fouled away. Count stays at 1-2. Ethan Ellis trying to do something for his Army team. Keep them in this game within striking distance against Fordham. As an extra base hit or a single changes the tone of this one. 2 on, 2 out. Fordham leading 4-0 in the top of the 8th. Haywood sets, looking in, kicks, deals. He's got him. McAndrews picks it up, throws it over to Lutazzi. That's another strikeout for Haywood. Fordham leading 4-0. We're going to go to the bottom of the 8th here from Loughran Park. You're listening to Fordham Baseball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One on One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Fordham leading Army 4-0 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. This one was a pitcher's duel for the longest time. A Christian Arrow solo shot got the Rams on the board in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Then in the bottom of the 7th, the Rams tacked on 3. In a variety of ways, really, Will. An error accounted for one of those runs on the part of Fordham. One came via a Bushiero RBI single. The other came on that error-driven play, a bad throw from Belinsky at second helped the Rams get that 3-0 lead, or 4-0 lead, those 3 runs in the 7th inning, and Joe Valchar still out here for the Black Knights in the top of the 8th, at the bottom of the 8th.
Joe Valchar still out here, but a little defensive replacement. Number 23, Max McGlone, will come in to catch now. Be the number 2, the backstop for the Black Knights, as Tommy McAndrews leads off for a 3rd consecutive time for the Rams.
Count will go to 1-1 to McAndrews, and it's been a struggle for Tommy McAndrews so far. That goes without saying. The sophomore trying to find some rhythm. A low-stress situation here for him. As he swings through that one, count will be 1-2.
Yeah, great opportunity for him to find his footing, possibly find a hole somewhere in this defense. Definitely could use it. Get that bat going once again and turn around what is technically a sophomore slump.
1-2 from Valchar, foul away. And we talk about the sophomore slump all the time, and as to whether or not it's a real thing or if it's all in a player's head, I tend to believe there may be some credence to it from time to time. As McAndrews takes an ugly swing, he'll be set down on strikes by Joe Valchar. That's Valchar's second punch out of the day.
I think there is a little something to it, absolutely. I almost called you Miles there for a second, Colin. There's definitely something to it there, Colin. Absolutely, it could be in the head. It could be, you were so good in your first year. How do you repeat the process? It's not the easiest of things to do, and that is play baseball. So Tommy McAndrews, though, stud athlete, and I'm sure he gets back on track the way that he knows how. He's a great baseball player. He's a great leader to have on this team as well.
It's Kean Saylor, the batter now for Fordham. Count will move to 0-2 on him in a hole early in the AB. 1 for 3 today. 0-2 pitch. That's going to be slapped towards the center of the diamond. It'll be grabbed by the shortstop, Schreck, thrown over to Hewitt for the out. So 2 away very quickly for Valchar. And that'll make way for TJ Wachter.
Wachter, the man that started it all for the Rams last inning in the 7th, started with his single, the little nubber into shallow right field as he cuts on and misses his foul ball right there. Loud swing, and Wachter has. He's put together 3 loud swings as well, with two lineouts coming in the 2nd and 4th innings. But Wachter having himself a good day in what is now year 3, 6'7", 225-pound man.
0-1 to Wachter, down low, but Wachter swings and misses. 0-2. Joe Valchar trying to get out of this bottom of the 8th and set up Army for the top of the 9th. That one outside, 1-2 now. As Army will have much work to do in that potential top of the 9th inning. Got to get some runs, and they've got to get them in a hurry. 1-2 to Wachter, upstairs, 2-2.
Wachter being very patient on those off-speed pitches and obviously well out of the zone, but definitely a pitch that he is prone to chasing at times, doing a great job of keeping himself in this at-bat.
2-2. Outside, full count. TJ Wachter, bigger player, certainly some power potential there. 6'7", 225 pounds. Full count. That'll be slapped towards the left side of the infield. It'll fall in the outfield for a base hit. TJ Wachter with a single, his 2nd hit of the day.
Really having a great ball game, Colin. He's put together 4 really good swings on the baseball. That one, nothing short of that. Nice little liner over the head of Schreck at shortstop. And that'll bring in Steven Lutazzi, stepping in for his 4th trip now. This is exactly how the run scoring happened. And we're going to have a little pinch runner here for the Rams as TJ Wachter subs out for number 19, Diego Prieto. Or excuse me, that's number 15, Matt Dieguez, pinch running for Wachter over at first base here in the bottom of the 8th.
So the pinch runner in at first. Lutazzi up at the plate to take his cuts. Lefty on righty matchup. Lutazzi lefty, first pitch swinging. Chops it back towards the pitcher. It will be fielded by the shortstop, Schreck, who flips to first, but the runner beats the throw. Lutazzi in with a single, an infield single at that. Fordham will have runners at first and second now.
Infield single, Colin. Will keep the rally going. That'll bring up Nico Boza. Last time in this same situation, dropped down a 3-4 sacrifice bunt. And that definitely yielded 2 of the 3 runs that were scored in the Rams' 7th inning of play. And here we are now, a great opportunity once again for Boza to get another run across for Fordham.
Boza takes a ball to start his at-bat, and any further runs Fordham's able to tack on here would be critical as Boza swings and misses 1-1.
Boza seems to be a little off balance from the side armor here in Joe Valchar. Back foot kind of doing some crazy things.
1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. Fordham leading 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th. 2 out in the inning. Diguez leading off of second. Lutazi leading off of first. 2-1 pitch from Valchar. There's a ball, 3-1. Boza in a hitter's count.
And Boza definitely in the driver's seat now at 3-1. Just got to do anything you can to get on base, force more pitches for Valchar to throw, and do your job. Maybe get Christian Arrow up here soon.
The pitch chopped right back to Valchar. He'll throw to Hewitt at first. That will end the inning. Army will have one final chance in the top of the 9th. Fordham leads this one 4-0 in the Bronx. You're listening to Fordham Rams Baseball by WFUV Sports.
Hi, my name is Ryan Rucco, WFUV class of 2008. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Hello and welcome back to Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. Fordham leading Army 4-0 in the top of the 9th inning. Connor Haywood looking to close things out for the Rams. Army will have one final crack at this thing.
Connor Haywood really looked sharp, albeit the 2 walks of Braden Galinsky and William Parker, but he did end up striking out the side. Strikeouts of Aruta, Titus, and Ellis, all to get him out of the 8th inning. And now, it's never a comfortable spot to be, especially in college baseball, but the bottom of the lineup up now for the Black Knights, and Haywood just needs 3 outs, and it'll be a season sweep for the Rams over the West Point Army Black Knights.
Carter Hewitt takes ball 1 to start the at-bat against Connor Haywood. Second pitch, even lower, 2-0.
Fordham looking to make it 3-1 at Loughran Park in 2024.
Aiden Dowd will be in line to win this thing if Fordham's lead is to hold, as there's a strike.
A well-earned win at that, Colin.
The losing pitcher, by contrast, would be Lehman. Justin Lehman, for as good as he was, wasn't good enough, as that one's fouled away. We'll go to 2-2.
Great changeup there from Haywood. Got Hewitt a little out in front on the front foot, I should say, on that one. And now a 2-2 count. Haywood maybe looking for his 4th strikeout here.
As that one's tipped, we'll stay at 2-2. Army, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Fordham, 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors on the board. Pretty chalk game, Will.
It's been a very Fordham game through and through. Chalk, I like. It's a good word. And hit by pitch right there.
As he'll drill him in the shoulder. As Army has a base runner, and with that, a chance.
Well, Haywood needing a ground ball here. Another shift on the left side.
Thomas Schreck lays down a bunt. That'll be popped up towards the booth. And that one lands on the balcony above us, Will, as had there not been a roof there, we might have gotten a souvenir this afternoon.
Well, for our sake, Colin, I'm very glad that it is on our roof.
Hewitt leading off of first. Schreck the batter with an 0-1 count. The pitch. Inside, trickles away from McAndrews. Hewitt will take second base with ease, as it's going to be a pass ball. No outs here in the top of the ninth. Fordham leading 4-0, but Army with a runner in scoring position now.
No need to sweat there, but definitely something out of the ordinary for Tommy McAndrews. Not a catcher that makes a lot of errors.
1-1. Off-speed pitch. That'll be a ball. 2-1. Haywood laboring a touch, perhaps. We'll have a 2-1 count to work with here against Thomas Schreck, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout today. 2-1. Outside gets by McAndrews, and Hewitt will take third with ease again. Took second with ease, took third with even more room to work with, as Army is 90 feet away from getting their first run.
Tommy McAndrews, only 2 errors going into this game. Not quite sure what the official score was there, but if it was another pass ball, it was definitely something out of character for McAndrews.
3-1 slap towards first, handled by Lutazzi. He'll walk it to the bag, but Army will get a run. Hewitt will score. Now a 4-1 Fordham lead in the top of the ninth with 1 away.
Well, Colin, that's unfortunately just how the cookie crumbles. Would have been probably a game-ending double play to Lutazzi over there at first base, but I guess you got to give to get. And 1 out now, and we'll have a pinch hitter here for Army. And it's going to be number 7, Mark Abel, pinch hitting for Paul Andruski.
And he'll take a strike to start out the at-bat, as Fordham trying to shut the door on Army and sweep the season series. Second pitch swung on and missed by Abel. It's been a good day for Fordham's pitchers. Dowd got the party started. Brady, Haywood have done their job as well. That one fouled off towards the bullpen. Haywood comes set to the mound. Looking in, kicks, fires. And that one's ripped towards right field. That will be back towards the wall, and it is gone. Mark Abel with a solo home run. Fordham's lead now 4-2 with 1 away in the top of the ninth inning.
Kind of knew that one was leaving the yard right off the bat there. Colin, a slider that didn't really slide at all. Just kind of hung right over the middle of the plate, right in the wheelhouse for number 7, Mark Abel. A pinch hit home run for him, and then now it is a 4-2 ball game. Fordham in front. That'll bring up the catcher, Derek Berg.
So Army clinging to some form of life here. 2 runs have come across in this top of the ninth inning. First pitch swung on, grounded to Bucciero. He will throw it over to Lutazzi, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, quick correction there. That was Max McGlung, who came in as a defensive replacement in the 8th, gets his first at-bat, and it's a rollover to Bucciero, 5-3. But yes, Colin, it is now a 4-2 ball game. Just need 1 out, though. Hayward doing a decent job here in the 9th inning. Just got to bear down with an extreme shift, with Ruda stepping up for the 5th time today.
Ruda, the batter, takes ball 1. Haywood trying to slam the door. Army clinging to some form of life. 4-2 game, top of the 9th. 1-0. Thought he clipped the corner. He didn't. 2-0.
That one was a little low, too. I think he got a little bit of the corner, but definitely low.
That one's a strike. 2-1. Clipped the inside part of the zone that time.
Ruda 0 for 3. He walked back in the 6th. 2 strikeouts today.
Off-speed pitch. Low for a ball, 3-1.
And now Colin, though, you're kind of treading on thin ice here with the walk. The tying run comes to the plate, and that'll be Braden Galinsky. Hopefully the Rams do not get it to that point, and they will.
Ruda walks, and the tying run will come to the plate. As Connor Haywood at 42 pitches now, showing some signs of attrition on the mound. Fordham's going to have a little bit of a meeting. It doesn't appear as though Haywood will come out of the game right now, but there is a pitcher warming up in the home team's bullpen.
And Haywood's going to have a little conference with Glenn there on the mound, but 2 runs for the Black Knights in this 9th inning of play. One coming off the bat of Mark Abel via the solo home run, Colin, and Haywood, he really just needs to settle down here. Bear down, find a way to get strikes across. Braden Galinsky, 1 for 2 on the day, 2 walks, both of those coming back in the 1st and 8th innings. That single coming in the 6th.
Mark Abel, the freshman, made this thing a 4-2 ball game. Now Army with the tying run at the plate in the form of Braden Galinsky. Connor Haywood, first pitch, outside for a ball, 1-0.
Gonna make things interesting, Colin. Gonna make things interesting.
Seems to be a recurring theme throughout this era of Fordham baseball. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. We'll go to 1-1. As Haywood with a good comeback pitch that time. Ruda leading off of first. Galinsky at the plate. 2 away in the top of the 9th. Fordham leading 4-2. Cut on and missed again. 1-2 count now.
Pulls a string right there. Colin goes with the changeup, a pitch he doesn't normally throw a whole lot, especially to left-handed hitters. You don't want that one floating over the middle there, but a nice job to get McAndrews to block that one, and the Rams 1 strike away.
1-2 pitch. Just missed the outside part of the zone. 2-2.
Tim Carey. Tim Carey, not a fan of those upper strike zone strikes there, Colin, but could have been a little high, maybe a little bit outside. We'll do it again, though. Deuce is wild now.
Haywood comes set, looking in, kicks, deals, fouled off by Galinsky, and we will do it all over again.
Never back down. Braden Galinsky. Opportunity to make things interesting, make things a little dicey here at Loughran Park, but hopefully not.
2-2. Swung on and missed. Connor Haywood sets him down on strikes, and the Fordham Rams win 4-2 over the Army Black Knights. Dowd gets the win. Lehman gets the loss. Fordham moves to a 6-12 record. Army with 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Fordham with 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors on the board. And Army indeed made things interesting towards the end of this one, putting together 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning. But Haywood, at the end of the day, able to slam the door shut.
He comes into the game and he does what he needs to do, Colin. Definitely struggling a little bit with command, a problem with him that he's had over the last couple of seasons. But the stuff is definitely there, 100%. 4 strikeouts in his 2-inning affair here, but nevertheless, it was a collective all-around win for the Rams. Had to play some good defense. And how about Chris Gennaro? 2 extra base hits to his tally today. He opened up the scoring with a monster shot to left center field, his first ding-dong of the year.
Like that a lot. 2 for 3 today for Chris Gennaro. The solo shot, as you mentioned, with 2 RBIs. Fordham once again now 6-12 on the season. They'll be playing very soon, and I mean very soon indeed. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, they'll be taking on Fairfield right here at Loughran Park. Me and Will be back for that one. But that's going to do it for this edition of Fordham Rams Baseball on WFUV Sports. For Will Tallant, I'm Colin Loughran saying so long from the Bronx.